We're about to take it back.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is, the most listened to radio show on the planet.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
Tony and Lee on the radio. Dr. Joe's therapy on the radio. The love got me going live on the radio. Two mics and the mind on the radio. Radio, turned up on the radio. Turned up on the radio, turned up on the radio, turned up on the radio. Two mics and the mind. Two mics and the mind. Two mics and the mind. Yo.
Oh, welcome to Two Mics and a Mind.
Hold on.
Hello.
What up?
And I'm Joe with my co-host. How is everyone doing tonight?
I'm doing good. I'm feeling good. I'm looking good. What more can I say? Woo!
How did the rectum exam go today?
Hey,
Oh,
I don't know what he's talking about.
I was
But what I will tell y'all, for all y'all who don't know, today is a special day. Today is go and get your teeth cleaned day. Oh yeah.
right.
All those people who went and got their teeth cleaned today, I want y'all to put a 1 in the chat. All the people who went and got their teeth cleaned today, put a 1 in the chat. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah,
Is it national? Go get your.
I got my teeth cleaned today.
I got mine
Hey.
clean.
Really?
I appreciate you. I
Hey, man,
appreciate you.
I
I brush
appreciate you.
my teeth 3 times.
That's right. You got to be more people out there joining the movement. You know what I mean? A lot of people out here with that periodontitis. They don't understand. They think what's going on in relationships. They think it's something wrong with the partner. No, it's that periodontitis. A lot of people don't know, but periodontitis, one of the number one reasons for divorce, number one reason for relationships breaking up, periodontitis. People don't want to talk about it. They don't want to talk about it.
I disagree because first of all, you know if somebody has periodontal disease when you're dating.
It's contagious.
It's very contagious. It is definitely contagious. People don't
Even
think it is.
cavities.
Take a breath and leave it stinking up your breath.
You know what? So explain, Tool, if you don't mind, educate the people on what periodontitis is.
Ain't no periodontitis. It's periodont. He's not even pronouncing it correctly.
No. Periodontal disease? That is
Periodont. Thank you.
that is an infection in your gums. And
You know his mom had a sign on their shirt that said,
what?
"My kid can read, but he can't pronounce St. word for flying flip."
Periodontitis. I don't know.
That's a real word. It's called periodontitis. That's a real word.
No,
Yes,
he
That was
made up.
off.
It's a disease of your gums.
Yeah, it's real. It's real. That's a real word out there.
We know it's a real word. We talking about what you were
That's what I
saying.
said. Periodontitis.
Yep.
No, it's not.
It's real.
You,
Yep.
Go
pron-
ahead and educate us too.
you
Educate the people on
pronouncing
what
it
it is.
wrong.
That's what it is. It is. It's a gum disease. It's literally a gum disease, a disease in your gums. And if your gums are diseased, they won't hold your teeth. That's why people lose their teeth due to periodontal disease.
Is periodontal disease curable too?
It is not curable, but you can stop the spread.
That's correct.
Yes.
That is
What
correct.
creates that disease? Really?
A buildup of plaque and tartar, and not cleaning your teeth because that irritates your gums, and it can cause you to have that. And it starts in the bloodstream as well.
So some people got stinking breath. It's in their blood.
You
They'll
need to
keep
cleanse.
brushing their teeth, thinking they cleared, but it's in the blood.
Oh,
You know what they said? I'm trying to tell you. Listen, think about it. What did the werewolf say to Dracula when his breath was stinking? I know it was the blood. I know it was the blood. I know it was. That's what he had to say to him. Think about it, because it starts in the bloodstream. Dracula sucked the blood of a stinking breath person, gets in his bloodstream. So I know it was the blood. So you think about that. Think of how many mosquitoes got funky breath. Because they don't know what they got, they latch in. Think how much periodontal disease, and a lot of people can catch it from mosquitoes.
And diabetes,
A lot of them.
smoking.
It can say smoking.
If you have diabetes, you have underlying immune, diseases, issues that can cause it too. Definitely in the blood.
This is
Good
true.
morning.
This is true. This is true. So me being a life coach that I am, I always try to educate the people and talk about a lot of the vicissitudes
Because of that blood.
that
Yes.
you won't get from a regular therapist. And that's what I talk about. Is I talk about this periodontal disease that's going on. When you go and you get your teeth probed, you need to keep it in between the numbers of 1, 2, 3 at the most. You should be having these 4, 5, 6, and 7.
Pores are that should catch your attention. Above that.
That's right. That's right. She telling the truth. Listen, Tuesday when I went there today, my hygienist was so impressed with me. She said, "Oh my goodness, what is it that you're doing?
I'm sure she
Your
did.
mouth is beautiful." What the thing called? Is it called the Cavatron or the Megatron? What
Cavatron, you're exactly right.
you say? I ain't even got to use it on your mouth. She said, "I ain't even got to use." She said, "I can just take the regular little scaler, hit it down in between." She said, "Your mouth is perfect."
You know what? I'm telling you what, they don't use it on the rectum exam either, do they, Tula?
No, oh gosh, no.
I've never had one of those. Tony, tell us more about those. 'Cause I've never had one. So tell us more about that exam,
You
Tony.
got one today. No, we see you had one today.
She didn't use a Cavatron, so how she get your stains? You had no stains, or
Don't believe that, man.
No. She actually says, so what I do, Tuli, what a lot of people don't know is recommended that you go at least, twice out the year.
Yeah.
If they
But
go,
I go quarterly. I go on a quarterly basis.
So you go every 3 months.
Yes, ma'am.
Because he has.
That's correct. I go on a quarterly basis because an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And believe it or not, people who don't know, you can actually get beneficial and really affordable dental plans where you can get the cleanings, and it's very affordable. It's not expensive at all. You probably spend a lot more on gas, a lot more on food and groceries, a lot more on getting your hair done and haircuts than it would actually go ahead and get a routine cleaning quarterly. It's a good investment.
You have good dental hygiene. You don't have any work done. You can just pay for your visit and not pay no monthly premium, which is even.
And that's exactly what I do. I pay per visit. Tuli is spot on.
Mm-hmm.
I pay per visit. It's very affordable. Dennis loves me. Dennis came in there and he was just speechless. He was like, "Wow, he shook my hand."
Yeah.
He say, "Look,
what happened?"
Oh yeah.
I know
But you're not going to be able to do that if you didn't come so often. If you came every 6 months, as recommended, and for regular prophies. Now, if you have periodontal disease, they do see you 2 more times a year. They do see you every 3 months.
Yep.
And on top of that, what also happened is he told me, he was like, "Wow, it's really good." He told me that I don't need to have my wisdom teeth pulled. Before in the past, they were telling me I need to have my wisdom teeth, get my wisdom teeth. But because my gums have been cleaning, and I've been cleaning them thoroughly, and they've been improving so much, he was like, "You know what? You don't even need to get your wisdom teeth pulled."
Right. What they
now,
really?
Yeah. So a cure.
I didn't know that had nothing to do with it.
Yeah. So
it all depends. If it's causing you periodontal disease, do it, then yes, take them out because you can't keep them clean. Because he can't do it himself. That's why he's going every 3 months to have it professionally done. So that's why he's in the condition that he's in, and it's working.
So what I can do is I can tell you, because it's all about the in between. Because even though I go every 3 months, there's something that I'm doing. I have a cleaning routine that I'm doing.
You gotta get that dude off that.
What I want to recommend is 3 different tools and 3 different techniques for people. Because right now, for those of y'all who just tuning in, today is Get Your Mouth Clean Day.
That's not the truth. What are you talking about?
Today is get your mouth
Don't
clean.
take up all day, Joker. Hurry up, man.
Okay, so
What you want to do?
Up your sick
you wanna
mouth,
do?
man. You better have
Number
for money.
one is floss. You must floss.
And you know how
Believe it or not, don't feel limited or like you can only floss once a day. If you want to floss twice a day, you can floss as many times as possible. What you want to make sure is when you're flossing, if you ever spit out and see blood, blood is a sign of poor gums. So what you want to do is you want to keep flossing on a routine basis till you eventually don't see any blood at all. Whenever you floss and see blood, blood is a sign of poor gum development. Second thing you want to do,
keep flossing.
Go and buy a scaler. Scalers cost about $5. You can get it from Walgreens, CVS. Go and buy the scaler. And what you want to do is practice tracing the outline of your gums with that scaler. Both the inside of your gums and the outside of your gums. Practice that with that scaler. If you don't know how to use a scaler, go look it up on YouTube. It only costs $5. You need to be doing that scaler at least 3 to 4 times a week using that scaler. Third thing you want to do, this is the icing on the cake. If you want your gums to be as good as mine, if you want that smile to be so cute and wild, listen. What you want to do? Get you a water pick. A water pick. A water pick works wonders. Use that water pick on a routine basis throughout the course of the week. A combination of those 3 things will get your gums to improve tremendously. There it is.
All right, what we got going? That man, I told him all. When their gums are bleeding, keep flossing until you don't see blood. Let somebody talk that went to school to do this.
No, a lot of times, just to yes, and a lot of times the reason why your gums are bleeding when you're flossing is because you're flossing incorrectly. It is a string, and you are cutting your gums. Okay,
right?
Yes. So if you're brushing your teeth, which is not as aggressive as floss popping up and cutting your gums, then you possibly could have periodontal disease. But you would definitely see buildup around your teeth, and you know if you see it. So that would be a reason why your gums will bleed. And I do not recommend using those little floss picks. No, it's very easy to use them and come out and pull out a filling. But if you have the string old-fashioned floss around your fingers and you floss your teeth, you have better control. Down and around, down and around, down and around. That's how you floss your teeth.
What do you recommend if you have braces like me?
It's a floss.
Hold on. Let me look at the braces again. Let me look at it. Show them to me. All right, go ahead.
Super floss for braces. It's very soft. It's thicker than regular floss. It's super floss. And you can use a floss threader because, of course, you got the bracket between your teeth that you can't do like you would if you had regular teeth. So as a floss, it's called a floss threader. It's a big needle. It's like a needle when you're sewing, but it's plastic. And you put the floss through that, stick that through, and pull out your floss. So you would invest in super floss and floss threaders.
Gotcha.
What else I want to recommend if you have braces, I just gave you 3 different things. You can use the water pick.
Man, you don't even know what you're talking about. You just told the people.
I know that's what I'm talking about. I know the water. Listen,
let me tell you what.
I'm a certified life coach. This is what I do.
Listen, I use none of that stuff. I don't have none of the problem. It's all about you.
Let me ask this. When the last time you went to the dentist?
I just went to the dentist a couple months. I only go twice a year. Because you know what I do? Listen, I'm sorry. I only go twice a year.
Hold on. Me too. Smile. Let me see your teeth real quick. Smile. Let me see your teeth.
They're in my mouth. They're all mine. Only one they took out my wisdom tooth. They took them out. They said eventually you'll have problems. I don't know why I listen to retarded people. That was when I went to another dentist. Nothing wrong with my wisdom tooth. Never had a wisdom tooth problem. And I had to they had me to pull my wisdom. They said eventually you're going to have a problem with them. So it's better now or later. And I listen to these retards to take something out of my mouth that I never had a problem with. A lot of it is propaganda. Now, what you're doing,
I did too.
And the average person won't do it. Now, what I'm saying, what you do, kudos to you because you go that extra step and it helps you. But no, people do it. I mean, that ain't helping you all the way because I don't smell some turds. But anyway, so what you do is what you do. You try to get people on regular brushing in the daytime. Some of them can brush when they finish eating during in the afternoon. Some people keep toothbrush brush at night. Flossing. What she's saying are good things to do. I don't use fluoride. I don't use the mouthwash. I don't recommend gargling every day is bad because it's good bacteria and bad bacteria. You'll kill the good bacteria too. You never floss it. I mean, you never gargle every day. Those you know that you don't even see Listerine and Scope commercials anymore. You see on TV always floss. I mean, not floss, but Listerine, Scope. All these people.
You don't. That's right.
Yeah, but the thing was, they didn't tell people gargling every day you can kill good bacteria. Every bacteria in your mouth is not bad. Your mouth produces bacteria for a reason.
That's true.
You didn't know. You knew you weren't supposed to gargle every day? No, I taught you that.
Yes,
see,
sir. So I'm about to tell you some brushing advice.
You ain't gonna get no brushing advice.
I'm about to give people brushing advice.
3 times a day.
That's right.
So some people, listen, if you got bad breath, I recommend you gargle as much as possible.
What?
If you got bad breath, I want you to gargle as much as possible. Bad breath is like using baby wipe. You got to keep using it till you don't see nothing on the paper no more. You can keep wiping till you don't see no more paper. Ain't no remedy for it. You got to keep doing it. Keep gargling until you don't hear nothing no more.
I'm telling you,
no more complaints. Just keep gargling. But what I'm telling you about brush your teeth.
That's my problem, and I tell this to synagogue, everybody else. A lot of y'all do this traveling stuff. Y'all out all day with this butt naked breath.
That's right.
I'm talking about you too, Joe. Especially you. I smelled that. Y'all joker, get out here. My wife, I tell everybody, I'm flat to the foot. There's no toothpaste. There's no goggle that's gonna hold your breath all day. You have teeth in your mouth, so it's gonna create that odor. You get you a good breath mint. Some sprays aren't good because don't get those Listerine strips. I used them years ago. They were great. They got a lot of side effects. They got a lot of detriment that hurt you. The Listerine spray. So a lot of gum. I used to love double mint gum. I grew up on. I chewed it all through high school. Listen. When I get to, I'll make sure I chew me some. I had me some after lunch. Kept my breath fresh. That's why I was hot out there. So all that stuff, walk around breath stank. I don't get it because there are things that you can take. You can be saved and your breath can still smack and come out from your rectum. Please use that. Our heart, Mr. Hewitt, your breath stink. And you talking to man, he don't want to smell it either. This man smell or do it. Y'all polite. Listen, I'm just telling you that this help a lot of y'all out now. Y'all break on these chicks. I smell doo-doo. I don't smell doo-doo come out the mouth. Get you something to hold your breath during the day till you can get away. I don't know why people listen. You cannot get your teeth clean. That's gonna carry you out through the rest of the. You ain't got to brush but one time a day. It's not humanly possible. You're gonna eat if you just keep your mouth closed. It's gonna create odor. Get you some. What's on? Where they going?
While he gone, what I'm gonna tell you what you want to do. Some home remedies. You get you a glass of ground cloves and cinnamon. Mix it in a jar of water. Ground cloves and cinnamon. Drink that on the regular. Whenever you're done, that works really, really well. Good homemade, healthy, homemade remedy mouthwash. That right there, what he has, that's some good stuff right there.
It's a good gum. I don't know what this stuff called.
Xylotrue.
But what we want to do though, we want to endorse stuff that's paying us. So Tula has some good stuff. We want to endorse her stuff.
Oh yeah,
really good homemade stuff.
She need to start making gum with some.
Tula, tell me what kind of products you have, because Tula, you gave me this really good, nice stuff that works really well.
It ain't gonna hold us so long.
And I'm just gonna let y'all know, if you Scope is and Crest, they're not ADA accepted products, just FYI. But anyway, go ahead. I learned that while I was working.
All right. What else I want to tell you? When you're brushing your teeth, a lot of people don't know this. When you're done brushing your teeth, you do not rinse your mouth out and spit it out. You want to leave that toothpaste on as a coating. It needs to coat. A lot of y'all who have enamel problems, a lot of that toothpaste can help improve your enamel if you actually leave it on. Don't spit it out. You want to leave it on too. Ain't that right? Tell them.
Why would you leave it? You rinse your mouth after you finish.
No. You want to leave that coating on. You want to leave that coating on. What the toothpaste actually does, it actually coats. You want to leave it on for maybe about a good 5-10 minutes. Don't spit it out. It'll wear off over time, but you want to leave it on. A lot of those toothpaste can actually, the fluoride-free ones are actually really good for your enamel, but you have to leave it on so to improve your enamel. A lot of people, they spit it out immediately.
How does it improve your enamel if it doesn't have fluoride?
How does it improve your, well, like Tony mentioned that he uses fluoride-free. There's a lot of studies in terms of the irrigation and the fluoride. That fluoride has negative effects or whatever, so I don't recommend using fluoride at all.
Don't say I use fluoride free because I don't use any. I don't pay for it. I don't use it at all. The man just said, like Tony said, he used fluoride free. I never said that. I don't use it at all. Well, I don't pay for it to somebody. I don't recommend fluoride. Fluoride, a lot of that stuff has other problems as far as mental cognizance. And that's what Hitler used. He used to put that on people, fluoride. Some of them feel like Smith disagree. I just don't use fluoride. I just got away from it. There are cases where people have had mental illness that care from the fluoride toothpaste. They found something, but I mean, everybody had their opinion. You listen. I don't use it. I don't have to do nothing extra.
That's true.
So if you using it and you making it and you going and you study losing brain consciousness and memory, then you know what you're doing. That fluoride,
water. So I mean, you're getting it.
What
you just apply. I said fluoride. You're getting fluoride every day. You're in your water. You're getting it. So
yeah, the tap water.
Yeah, but it's a mineral that occurs. You know, it happens. It's a natural mineral. It comes from rocks.
Yeah, but it's different when you get the natural mineral. When man extracts and man injects, then they typically go over. A lot of stuff you get. I mean, iron is natural. It's in there too, but they got too much iron in certain things. What happened? You got iron in greens. People got a little iron. Eat more greens. So what happens? So it's when man starts to extract and he wants to give it to like a lot of protein. I don't recommend these protein. If I get one, it's gonna be it's gonna be pea. Get it from a pea or rice. I don't get it from meat because a lot of times the meat they give you already is bad. And if you're a big meat eater, it's really not recommended to take a meat protein. You really want to balance it out and try to get your protein from your vegetable as well as your protein for your meat. When you get a lot of these protein, these guys love this whey. Whey ain't nothing but beef garbage. It's beef waste. That's all whey. They found another way to get rid of it. They sold it as a protein. They call it whey. And everybody, I take the whey. Since I take cow waste. It's cow waste, but most people don't know it. I didn't know it years ago. It comes from cow. It's the waste. It was stuff they were discarding, not the
for real.
It's the part. I mean, it's the part that you just can't use it. When I'm saying waste, not actually the defecation waste, but whey protein is like the waste. It's like when you get through that pregnant animal, I can't do anything with it. So they found out, hey, we can sell it as a protein to people, and it fly off the shelf. So they get the beef industry another market.
Yep, that's true.
That is.
If you take a protein, I recommend I take a pea protein. If I take one, it'll come from a pea or a rice.
Rice protein. Okay.
I do a rice or a pea protein.
Right.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I try to get it from my vegetable because your foods are designed, they're broken up into group. There are certain things you're gonna get from your fruit, certain things you're gonna get from your vegetables, certain things you're gonna get from your meat. I don't want too much from my meat. I don't overtake from my vegetables. I don't want from my fruit. Although all of them are good for you, there's still a balance. I remember when we went to school, they would always break it down into food groups. You don't hear people use that term. Remember, when we was little, they would always emphasize food groups.
Yeah, like 4 basic food groups.
You have the 4 basic food. They're trying to let you know about your meats.
Yeah,
trying to let you know about your vegetables. Trying to let you know about eating your fruit. It was a lot of encouragement in the 80s. Back people were encouraging food. It's food groups. They were trying to push that. You didn't realize they would teach about, and now you can see why, because that's something that's not discussed. A food group now is a burger and fries. A taco. You know what I'm saying? You say you got lettuce, crap. But I mean, typically you broke it down. Like we went to school. You remember you ate out of trays, so your food set in sections.
And portioned.
Portions.
Yep, sure enough.
They taught you sections and portions.
That's
what I'm about food. Yeah, but think about it now. People don't realize, they want to know, I really don't eat that. You eat a trough. They eat stuff that ain't designed to eat or cook out of. These people go buy dog bowls to put cereal in it.
That's right.
We had a cereal bowl. You know what you put in a cereal bowl? Cereal, oatmeal, and ice cream. It's a cereal bowl. These bastards go buy a dog bowl for Butch. So the thing is about this tall and big around.
That's very, very true. And well, go ahead.
I used to eat 2 bowls of cereal on Saturday morning. 2 bowls of cereal. My cousin, they came country, had a bowl. They found a bowl like that and poured the cereal. I said, "Why you pour all those in there?" He said, "Well, I'm gonna get another anyway, so I'm gonna just pour them all in here at one time." I was like, "At one time." So how we used to eat was you ate that bowl. If you want some more, you went back and you pour some more. You got milk in here. You didn't eat all your milk, so you pour some on top of that milk, so you didn't need that much more milk on it. Right. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes a sack of bowl, you wouldn't get as much because it would be too sweet. You had the sugar from the first cereal, now you just pour more cereals on that milk.
Yep.
Eat as much the second bowl, but the way they show me how to eat, they just got one big bowl, poured them all in there at one time.
Oh.
Cornflake cereal, I can eat those with no cereal, no sugar. Now I thought those were cereal for kids that you hated. What parent would buy their kids some cereal that didn't have sugar on it? You couldn't love your kid. And I mean, did you ever eat cornflakes, Love Doctor?
Those I had to when that was the only thing left, but I hated cornflakes. That was the least desired.
Yeah, I mean, if you ain't got sugar, it's not something you want. It's sugar trans.
No, I prefer Frosted Flakes over cornflakes.
Yes, honey. Woo!
Dr.
They're great.
Dr. Joe, come to the light. Come to the light, Carolyn. Come to the light.
Dr. Joe, glad you back because I wanted to share something. I wanted to get your input on something.
I know this internet's acting up today again.
Oh, yeah. Well, actually, I wanted to get everybody's input on something. Since we're talking about food, there's actually a shortage that's going on, a lack of food that's going on, is going around, as you're aware, in Hawaii. I wanted to briefly share with y'all a 1-minute clip to get your input on this shortage that's going on right now in Hawaii. Let's take a closer look.
While you were sleeping, we have learned that the death toll is now 111 people in Maui, and search crews still have more than half of the burn area to cover. This morning, fires are still burning on parts of the island, and every day that goes by, there's a growing need for food, water, and other basic necessities. Who live there say the hardest part is waiting to see if they'll ever see family members again.
It's just hard and unbelievable. I mean, I still have loved ones that's trapped. For example, my dad.
Oh, wow.
President Joe Biden will arrive in Maui on Monday. Organizations around the world are stepping up to help. In the last 24 hours, United Airlines sent a plane carrying 24,000 pounds of supplies, and the Republic of South Korea has donated $2 million. This morning on Today, Miguel Almaguer is in Maui with the latest. Right now, several senators there are asking Hawaii's governor to appoint an independent investigator to determine what caused the disaster and how they can prevent it from happening again.
I can help.
What do y'all think about that?
That's bad. Well, I'm impressed by them only giving $2 million when we got to send billions. I'm impressed by that. I don't understand why we got to send billions.
South Korea sent Hawaii. They're Providence of America. One of those, what you call territories. South Korea stepping up. Typically, America don't take help from other countries.
No, I'm saying Ukraine billions. Why can't we just get millions? Why we can't do like
that's something that we're posting. I agree that the money should be given to help them. But unfortunately, you look better on a world stage when you're giving someone that's not you than to yourself. If I got up and I went on a world stage and said, I'm going to give my wife and kids, $100 billion, they're going to say, okay, you gave it to your family. Right. So what's the big deal? But when you give it out to other countries, like everybody keeps saying, the West has donated more money. America has given so much money to Ukraine. We donated to Ukraine. We want to look better giving to other people. We don't want to look good helping ourselves. Our people here have problems. I'm going to try to sing a video that I posted this earlier. You put on here. I'm going to send it over there. I send out thread, the whole thread. I'm going to send over to, I don't know how to send it private chat, but
I'll do that. And once you send it out,
just showing how bad our people. I guess to me, it kind of goes with where we're at today, and that's where we're at today. Other people like that $2 million that South Korea gave, they could have easily given that to the misfortunate kids in their country. I don't know if you guys know, South Koreans are very prejudiced against interracial kids. They don't favor. They don't favor interracial kids. Hines Ward, who used to play for Georgia,
yeah,
he was half American, half South Korean.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He goes back up. Yeah, he goes back up and does a lot in South Korea helping out. They don't do a lot for a lot of those kids are ostracized. Japan the same way. They don't care for interracial kids. When they kids mix, a lot of those people want American bases gone. They don't want them there because the soldiers mix with them, and that's less for their people. So eventually you'll wipe out a race and you create another race. Now the Russians, how China has done it. They're convinced their people to move out of China and relocate in other countries, get into the corporates, America.
Really?
Listen, if you pay attention, look and see what race of people that you see in social media, IT, technology. They're going to be Indian and they're going to be Chinese. Anybody on the side can come in and tell me if I'm wrong. Notice what they're going to be Indian and Chinese and white, because that's going to get you into other countries. That's going to get you into everybody infrastructure now is on the web. So get into these business. They're going to get into with finance. They're going to get into company. They're going to do with infrastructure, technology. That's where they're going. Look at Mark Zuckerberg. What color? I'm sorry. What color is this white wine? And Mitch McConnell, the minority leader for the South Carolina. What color is this white wine? You see what happened in England. What color is the white prime minister? And they were filthy rich. I'm not mad at them. This is why I get mad at people of color. At some point, we criticize everybody. I just kind of changed my ideology, okay? Because you look at the people a lot of time that give you the negativity. You always, and I say something to get people. I said, look at your bank account. And I said that to say, either you're productive or you're doing nothing. If you're complaining and you're doing nothing, you are part of the problem. So a lot of time we criticize these people. Let's talk about let's talk about the white man. The white man. Is it honest or fair to say that we can do nothing? It is honest, it's fair to say that we won't do anything. We'll wait on them to do something for us. So for me, that's not a part of a conversation or energy I choose to lose on. We can sit here and talk on this show from now to next Thursday on how much white control is in the world, versus we can leave this show and we can all start to put things into play to create some of the same fraction. Just like the Chinese, I'm not mad at the Chinese. I'm not mad at the Indian. You used to, look at that come to Mexican. These people are moving to do what it takes. What do? We stay here.
Dwayne, we can take that off.
He put it up while I was talking. He need a slap.
I thought this was the video that Tony said he was sending you to put up.
I did. That is it, but I didn't tell you to put it up there.
Oh.
Don't worry about you, little monkey. So anyway, I just choose not to get into the conversation that's not going to be fruitful, that we can't move in, we can't pull anything from it and do anything. Just to sit down and run down a race versus let's have a conversation on what we can do. This is what I hate about my people. They would talk and do nothing. Now, Dwayne stepped up. Wayno stepped up. He want to do some real business. A lot of time, our people, they'll just talk. They won't do anything. Why don't you at least do something and then see the outcome before you say what we can't do? But we always got the conversation, what we can, and you watch the people that give that conversation. Look at what they're doing. Nothing. That's why they had the energy and time for it, because they're doing nothing. They will give you that energy so you'll do nothing and you can look like you're right, because someone needs to come and hand us something. No one needs to hand us nothing. We are innovative. We are creative. We are resourceful. We are brilliant. We are beautiful. We have all shades. We add so much to the world. There's not another race you can see that many different skin tone colors. How many different skin tone colors is it the Chinese? How many skin tone colors is it to white? But when you deal with black, you know, we got the darkest, richest black to a lighter black to a light skinned to a mulatto. We add so many different shades. We can carry every race. And we have. I mean, we add so much. Everybody adds something. It's just that our people, they're just afraid. I get on even with the member where I could strangle. I got over, if it's 150, I could strangle 170. Because there's no reason why when you have a centering of knowing who you are and your creator, it empowers you so much better than the average person because they look to their things or their education. I look to the fortune that he's giving me, the opportunity he's giving me. Our people can do it and create our own. We're all different people, but people don't respect them because they don't see vision or movies. What is that squeaking noise? That turtleneck.
No, it's not a turtleneck.
You ain't put no WD-40 on it. Who found it?
Dr. Joe, you back with us?
Yeah,
I believe so.
Did she just talk and her lips didn't move?
Yeah, she like them Chinese moving.
What you say, Dr. Joe? She can't hear us. Hello?
Dr. Joe, you can talk?
Hello. Are you safe right now? Do you need the police?
There's no volume.
Police.
We trying to see if your volume worked, Dr. Joe.
You need El Helpo. Oh, no, she gone.
Oh, I really hate the freaking boonies.
She ain't in no boonies. We done brought out when she was old in El Salvador, she was in the boonies.
Well, she there.
She lives in America. Hey.
Can't tell now her internet connection.
So let's see the video then until she get back. The Fabulous Five, best broadcast.
All right, let's put the video up. Here we go.
Will you be so kind to send a link? He need a link, Confederate.
It's been sent.
Okay. Kiss their feet. All right, that same video. So what y'all say?
What's going on? What's the background of that? Are they just bullying him because or he was doing something wrong and what's going on?
From my understanding,
it looks like they getting bullied is what it looks like.
I think that was more or less it, and it probably their mindset was looking at. They say immigrants bully white kids. I think a personal Caucasian person posted that video on Twitter. I reposted and I sent it over. My take is it on this. I know how we would typically look at it. The rooster came home to roost. You got what was coming to you. This is the same hypocrisy you displayed on us and other people. And I understand that. So I'm not criticizing. I say this on it though. That's a kid. And the people that did it were kids. I made a comment people probably didn't understand early on, I think on Twitter or one of the social medias I posted. That's a taught behavior. My parents never taught me to hate white people. They never told me, that wasn't the philosophy in our home. White people were the devil. That wasn't. My dad saw a lot. He just said he didn't trust them. That was him if he had an opinion on it. But he never sat down and said, listen, son, all white people are the devil. All white people. They never told my parents never raised me. They never told me that, even though they came out from segregation. They never told me, these crackers need to die. Every crack, that wasn't the conversation. We didn't get that conversation. So that view I didn't take. I wound up getting into some things when I got in actuality of dealing with some, seeing a side of them to push you. But I don't think I ever formulated that toward the whole race. Those kids did to him what they've heard from their parents, that white people make them get down and kiss their feet. White people would do this. This is why, because look what they started with: take their shoes off, kiss our feet.
Right.
Someone told them, because they never experienced it. I would highly doubt them being minded kids they experienced it. But the problem becomes we won't ever fix anything if we allow everything.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is you got kids with ideology that came from somewhere, and this white kid is a victim. To say he should pay for all of the sins of white people is to say that any crime that people of color committed, that I should pay for.
Correct.
The differ, because I never committed the crime. I don't even co-sign with the crime, let alone support or have committed it. So although there's that, hey, them crackers got what coming to him. Yeah, find out now that cracker know what it feel like. Let me practical. He wouldn't know because he's a kid.
Right.
If you look up the actual people that committed the heinous crimes and made them do it, then I can say logic. You see what I'm saying? Logic. But there is no logic behind what was done there. Other than what you did, you just took a person who comes from a master race, okay, who controls Supreme Court, who control legislation, who make laws, who has arrest powers. And what do you think you just did? And what do you think this finna do for other Hispanics?
Right.
Right.
See, that's why I'm saying you have to think a whole lot more through. You talking about 9 times 10 they go to court. If it's a Hispanic judge on that court, man, he's gonna get more time than a white guy because he's gonna be overseen by whites. If a Hispanic prosecutor, he's gonna push or she gonna push for the maximum because they're gonna be overseen by a community that's probably gonna be predominantly white. And if it is Hispanic, it's still answer to a white system. So now you have to start looking at what did these kids just create for themselves? Because now when this going to the police now.
Yeah.
This going to the police. And they're not gonna be looking at the head push. They're looking at the fact you put them in a situation we typically watch other people in. You are a visitor in our country. These kids have no idea what they've done for themselves. What they've done for other Hispanic kids who don't agree with it.
Right.
So we have to start looking at now. I know the frustration of I'm so angry, pissed, let me do something. But let's take that approach. Let's do something productive. Because when you do something reckless and stupid, you endanger everybody.
Right.
I'm with you. If you getting jumped and that happened, it came to you.
Right.
But this is the situation. You went and dug this one out. You went and woke that bear up and you poked the bear. And these kids have no idea. This white boy can very well be related to who knows who. His parents can connect to who knows who.
That's right.
And if your parents ain't got that document in their paper, all y'all finna be out of him. All because they just kids now. Make no mistake, they're kids. Should they die? Should they go to prison? No, they're kids. We were coming along, we were kids. No wonder where they locked us up. You're behind getting whooped. That's how it need to be done. Let the legal system work where the legal system belongs. All they did made him kiss his feet is wrong. I don't agree with it. There should be no jail time. Them parents should be made, you need to whoop your kid behind the straight. That's what we need to do. Get parents back involved to take care of their kids and raise them. What say you? And greetings, Shalom, Confederate 48. Good to see
you. How's everyone this afternoon?
Hey, great to see you.
Let's start from the bottom to the top, to Dr. Joe, to Ra'ah, my mentor, Tony Smith.
Appreciate you. Appreciate
the one and only future commissioner of Rockdale County, Miss Thule Smith. And to last but not least, the authenticator, the originator of the turtleneck and wound management, author of wound management, our very own Doc. Love doctor that is. This is
Yeah.
Neighbor Confederate State 48.
That's on love. That's his
saying,
new name.
Yeah.
hit that like button, hit that share, hit that subscription. But last but not least, hit the cash out.
Hit the cash out.
Facts.
Yeah, it's so good to see you. I can't forget the wolf himself, Charles Bostic, in his absence.
We're looking for him to get back on here. I know he's out there running.
I can imagine. I had a question in a comment. If y'all were aware of this, I wanted to see what y'all thought about it. I looked at a news feed. It was talking about the entire police force of Minnesota City resigned.
Somebody said that.
What is your take on that? And your opinion, what do you actually think the motive is? Because I believe the motive that the agenda that they gave us is propagated. True. I don't think I don't actually think that's actually why they resigned. But I just wanted to know if you guys were aware of that story. What were you guys' thought on it?
I am not familiar with it. This is the first I've heard of it.
Yeah, look up Minnesota City, entire police force resigns.
Yeah, they sure did.
All right, give me one moment. I'm gonna pull it up. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna share a screen with you briefly. Does this look familiar? Is this the article right here referring to?
Yes, sir.
All right, it's a minute long. Let's click on it.
Because I think it's in wake of, what happened with the George Floyd incident.
A special meeting tonight in Goodhue, a small town about an hour southeast of Minneapolis, that its council confirmed lost its entire police department and now is left spinning its wheels.
I was floored.
Catching even the people who live here off guard.
I just thought one. I didn't realize all of them.
We're not the first, and we won't be the last.
No. Mayor saying she was saddened to receive the resignations of all 7 of its officers, including the chief, in response to concerns over pay.
We knew we were on the low side. And so we were trying very, very hard to bring those numbers up.
The mayor says the city gave its officers a 5% pay increase and the chief a $13,000 raise at the beginning of the year, as the council now works to restructure its budget to compete with bigger cities.
We are all devastated by this. We're trying to muddle through this and do the best we can and provide service for our community.
Some 1,200 people live here. The council saying it's considering contracting with the Goodhue County Sheriff's Office for now, as its own officers will work through next week.
I mean, I think we could do okay with 3, and feel protected. Our town is pretty quiet,
The council agreeing it wants to rebuild its force and its future.
This is a great place to live and to work, and I think we'll get them back here. It's just going to take some time and some rebuilding.
So,
wow.
Yeah. So, in my opinion, I'm not very familiar with how the interworking of law enforcement is, but I just refuse to believe that it was just because of pay. I do believe a lot of it because like they said, it's not far from the George Floyd incident. Also too, there's a gentleman by the name of Jason Aldean. He made a song called "Don't Try This in a Small Town." I don't know if you guys had heard about that as well.
Correct.
Sir?
Yes, correct.
And I kind of think that it has, maybe some inadvertent,
on the color line,
has some type of connection somewhere, somehow, because it's very odd, that a whole police force, just resigns. And then I know they get some type of funding. You would think it's not a private entity, but like I said, I'm not very familiar with, the inner workings of law enforcement. But I just want to know what you guys' thought was on that. And then, in the wake of how they say how crime has escalated and, all of this stuff here. So what are the citizens going to do in terms of, if they need, police or first responders to come to the aid of sir?
Typically what these cities look at, cities are typically located in counties, so you're gonna have your local city, Your
Right.
county overrides a lot of that too. You know, that the Senate work, but the county has a bigger district. They can control the city and county. I think, to me, if it's a situation where they had crime going on, FBI should need to be brought in on them
Right.
leaving, because this is like striking, which is illegal. When you're a law enforcement, like the military, you can't strike, you can't beat them in that situation. You just left them guarded until something can be done. If you're gonna quit, y'all gonna walk, okay, but something should have been set up to where they need to be a transfer of power. You know, or sheriff department need to have agreed that came back and we're going to get another job. This was done to strong arm a small town to take it over and show we roll, we control. I think they ought to be hired back. And let me say this now, based off of me gathering that from them walking just on pay. These aren't jobs. This teaching, a teacher, a pastor, a police officer, a doctor. These aren't jobs you get just for the money. That's retarded.
Correct.
Because you are involved in people's lives.
Right.
We make a difference on sometimes whether a person live or die, whether a person, continue, progresses or degresses. It's a lot we add. And when you let the money get in between the job itself, it's different. These people starving, they need money. Hey, I don't think they should be underpaid 1 minute. So please don't think no. City need to cut something else, they need to be paid. But at the same time, these aren't jobs you get for the money. You get these jobs because I want to make a difference. I want to be changed. I want, just like Tulip running for commissioner. There's no money in that job. None. I tell you, there's no money. It's not even about the money. It's about the fact of adding something, giving something back to people, and people seeing something different. Somebody serving them versus they serving the people serving politicians. Right. And these people serving the police department. We serving everybody but us. These people look at these. You took serving jobs. That don't mean you should be low graded, manipulated, but at the same time, what? Hold on. Okay, this is the salary. Let's see. The mean hourly wage for police officer in the United States last year was $34.32. Okay, according to the Bureau of Statistics.
Yes,
and that good Hughes
on the bottom 21st percentile for $24 an hour. So they're the lowest paid in the entire country.
So let me ask you this: with that being said, what's the cost of living in Good Time?
Yeah.
See, that a lot of that I can't pay you $80,000 a year like a Chicago police officer when the cost of living in Chicago is twice your living expense. If you're living in a town where you go in here and you get all your groceries for $30, Dwayne, I mean, I can't do that.
Right.
And then you got to look at this. What taxes? This is what they don't realize too. Everybody run hard, cry about money, cry. Where did this money come? It comes from taxpayers. Right. We're in one of the worst economy, worse than 1929, false, fake stock market crash. And you telling me you finna raise my taxes when I'm struggling to hold a job, or my spouse, when we're a 2-income family, we've gone to one. And the one is cut. His job is cut some hours.
Right.
Or took a pay decrease in order to stay. And you're going to tell me now you want me to pay you at Chicago and Atlanta again? It's only 7 of you because we're how big?
Right.
It's only 7. It ain't big. And one of them is a chief.
You know what?
So in Goodhue, Minnesota, we got a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 1,700 square foot going at $439,000.
Oh, come on.
You pick one.
We got a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 1,300 square feet going at $299,000.
Construction.
So the cost of living, it looks like it's kind of costly there.
Now hold on for a minute. Those are 2 places. Don't get the average. Don't go look on Zillow and add for the. I guarantee that's not the whole price. It makes no sense that the house is that much money and they paying these people and they got 7 police officers.
Right.
Show me another side.
How's that rent going?
So here's what I caught is one thing that I caught is that they only have 7 police officers. So instantly when I hear there's only 7 police officers, my mind tells me that town is something like Mayberry, where crime is really not too much of a demanding issue to begin with. If all they got is 7 police officers. I looked at the demographics. The demographics say there's approximately about 1,200 people who live there. The majority is Caucasian, and the majority is also retired people, senior citizens.
Let me ask you this,
What is their rent looking like?
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry. Go let Dr. Joe go ahead. I can ask a question after you're done.
Well, I'm sorry. I was wondering what the rent was looking like in there.
All right, give me one moment. I'll pull it up. I'll see if I can find it.
And I want to know if this was one of those was it previously was it presently or previously a sundown town?
So I will tell you this. I've actually visited Minnesota, and I've visited some of those quote unquote sundown towns. And in general, when I was in Minnesota, when you're not in the Minneapolis,
yes,
everywhere else you are, you're like the only one. So I people are looking at me like I didn't even exist. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, wow, what is he doing? You know what I'm saying?
So
yeah. And I was probably maybe about 30 miles away from Iowa.
Wow.
That's how far down to Minnesota I went.
Shabasti!
Yo.
What's going on, Wolf?
I got cussed out by Dwayne earlier, so I hope my sound better.
Wow.
Is my sound good?
Yeah, you sound good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dwayne cussed me out. He put me on an hour suspension, and I couldn't get on the show. So I had to wait until 9:30. But I said, "There's no way."
Wow.
Because and speaking of which, too, Love Doctor, I've been noticing there's a lot of these sundown towns, quote unquote, being exposed. Certain towns that I didn't even know that were actually sundown towns that are popping up all over, America. And I want to add a comment to last week's show when Ra had said that the useless states. He forgot to throw in Arkansas as being one.
I meant to, yeah. You're gonna get cut up now. Razorback. They don't definitely. You get stabbed, you go to Arkansas.
So, Resident Joe,
1,500.
You asked the question about rent. There it is. You got a 1-bedroom for $1,500.
Wow.
5-bedroom for $3,950.
That's a nice house.
4-bedroom, $2,400.
Okay.
So, yeah, it looks like the cost of living is
it's pretty normal.
Yeah. It definitely looks like they also experiencing inflation as well.
Let me ask you a question. Some of the sites you're going on are probably sites giving you the higher at the most end. Those could be sites set up to deter people away. I don't believe a state, that city of 1,200 people, and it's that costly, and you paying your police that cheap.
Right.
Again, at $24 an hour for a cheaper police, he can go anywhere else. The only problem they're gonna have, you really don't have experience other than you've been in a small town with 7 officers, which means what? If you're the chief, you had an assistant or a captain or somebody under you, and you got a sergeant and a lieutenant. That's 4 with you.
Right.
It's only 3 officers on the street.
That's an interesting point.
The town doesn't have a whole lot going on. It only makes, if I want to pay you 24, because there's nothing going on here.
Right.
They probably got concessions too living there. Police discount. Yeah, if you stay in an apartment, how much? Look at the apartments. If you stay in an apartment, most apartments charge police either free or half.
One other thing is Minnesota considered a red, a blue, or a purple state?
Blue, probably blue.
Blue state?
They got a lot of gangs.
Okay.
A lot of hidden gang state. Oh yeah, Tongans. You got a lot of the Tongans are big now. They moved out of California, got ran out of California. California got way too many gangs, so they couldn't survive there. The Tongans moved down into Minnesota and took over. Because it was when they went down there, wasn't a whole lot going on. Then some of the blood Crips started, of course, moving out. So down there, they'll get in the fight with a motorcycle gang.
Wow.
What I got?
See that?
This third state was a what? What I told you. I didn't look it up. I know states. Pay attention. Look at your states with heavy gangs. They're going to be Democrat. That's a normal fact.
Wow.
It ain't hard to tell who. Okay, look at Chicago. What we looking at? Red state?
Blue.
California, red state.
Blue.
New York.
Blue.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how they do it. These people, yeah, that's they love it. And it's unfortunate it's pushed to a party. That what bothers me is why are people loyal to a party versus being loyal to what fits you? That is the dumbest thing. I have a Democrat, because I know I'm gonna vote for the Democrat. So what about the issue? What about the person? If it's the wrong person, it don't matter about the party. Parties don't dictate. You have great people that are Democrat, great people that are Republican, great people that are Libertarian, great people that are Green Party, great people in all the Tea Party. Right. Every person, look at the person. Party line voters are not smart people. They can say that you're just not smart. You look in the party. What about the issue? What are the issues? Seven police officers do not mean that crime is low. In Clarkston, Georgia, they only have 9 police officers who also have to look the political climate. In Minnesota, they have kidnapping, George Floyd. What? In Minnesota, they have George Floyd was in Minnesota when he died.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember the state. Listen, it be so many of us, it's hard to remember. Let me say,
that's why I was asking
Clarkston has 7 police, but what he brought up with Clarkston police is like you can spit on DeKalb County police. They're really useless. They bump in the how many? This is people. Somebody said that these guys bump backs with Pine Lake.
Yeah.
Then you got who? Then you got them. Then Stone Mountain got police. All these people butt each other, and DeKalb County rides the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes sense why you only have 7. What am I gonna put 30 police all the place when you're butt to butt with how many police how many people are butt to butt with that many police?
Right.
So when you look at these guys, I guarantee if you look at the bigger scale, that's like they say you have a county. They're alternate when these people fall off. All you do now, the county police look at start patrolling. They only had 3 police out there anyway. Mm-hmm. They can actually say, we'll pay $50,000 over to you that you can disperse among your people instead of paying the police force at all, because the county can cover the same area.
Right.
That's what.
It's that bad of a problem if you can't afford to pay them and you actually save the county money.
Yeah.
Those guys can go somewhere. And I want police officers should be paid a nice pay. Should they be paid $200,000 a year? I don't think so. I mean, you should be paid well for what you do, but let's be honest now, you can't police unless we all do what we do out here in Eagle. So if you get 200, I want 200 for what I do. And the trash man, they showed you in Italy, in France, when they stopped picking up the trash, what happened to that city?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody does what they do. When COVID came, we learned how important those people were that run those fast food restaurants. Because when you couldn't get nothing, you found one. Oh, you said, man, I'm so glad you're here. I just needed something different than just cooking at home. And you get something they were there. You realize everybody plays a part in how the world runs. We can't all be brain surgeons, police officers, or preachers, or doctors. We need other people to do lower caliber work to get their builders and concrete people. Not at all discriminate. All these people do what they do in order for people who make the big money to make your big money. So let's be fair. That's gonna be hard. Go ahead. What is that? What is that?
So this right here is a map of the city of Goodhue. They have a high school. And this is pretty much it. They got the Goodhue Public School, and they got the town's edge port that's closed. But just these few roads make up the whole entire jurisdiction of Goodhue. So it's very small.
See what I'm saying? So you thinking you get $24 an hour to ride down the street, ain't no time. So really, just I would say this is not the framing them. Go to where you can make the more money then. No, but something should have been agreed upon with the county to say, hey, man, we're all leaving. You guys can come over here. We'll turn this paperwork because they need to be getting. They need to know what paperwork you have. What do you have? If you got pending cases, things could have been done a lot different. And those guys got respect for it. We can't be. And 9 times out of 10, where you think they live at?
There.
In the place you just abandoned.
Right.
Because it was safe.
Do you think possibly that a lesson can be learned from this.
Yeah.
Like, let's take the situation and let's scuba analyze it.
Okay.
What we're doing is we're looking at white people and we're observing how white people move to get the results and the change that they want. So I'm looking at white people who ultimately, it was 7, who ultimately got together and aligned their views together and combined their views together to say, hey, this is how we feel. These are our interests. This is how we can combine our resources to affect the whole entire city and become national, statewide news. Maybe a lesson can be learned from this, whether we agree with it or not.
2 lessons. You can learn from it, but you won't ever want to repeat it. And that's because, honestly, they should all be charged.
Yeah.
This is, you ain't just walk out of Wendy's, okay? You have information. You have cases pending.
Yes.
You got court dates where you're supposed to appear because you charge. These people can come back and sue the town. So you put a lot on the line when you did that. Versus could have gone to them and said, listen, we're all leaving. We will transfer the pay. I would never hire them. If I had somebody, you come to them, you quit, you walk. Listen, we're talking about this is the safety and welfare of people.
Right.
This is life. Did you quit when a call came over? Because you need to be arrested.
That's right.
9 times out of 10, they quit at a time they knew they needed them. This is criminal. And you won't hear the FBI is supposed to come in and they're supposed to investigate it and see whether or not charges are warranted. Give it to the U.S. attorney, and the U.S. attorney get it, and he filed charge. He go and take it to a jury and say, listen, these guys commit a criminal act. They left a town unsafe.
Right.
It's like walking out the bank and leave the safe open and the front door unlocked and a sign, saying open with the lights on.
But that, you know what? Why you saying that too, it puts me in the mind of, you remember Andy Griffin show, how Mayberry operated and ran?
Yeah.
That Ernest T. Bass could go into the jail and lock himself up and get out. He had a key to the place. It almost seems that
Otis.
Right, Otis, it almost seems like that's the scenario with this town because
Mayberry.
Because it's almost like a tight-knit community as to where it's so segregated and so secluded. I would wonder what's the population, what's the African American
1,200.
No, 1,200 African American make up what?
Right, that's Hispanic people of color.
Give me one moment. I'll pull up the demographics. Give me one moment.
They probably make up 11%.
Probably.
They're gonna make up much, maybe 20%.
Because they're like, well, I said that should be criminal. I mean, you're a public servant. This is taxpayers' dollars, and you just walk off the job and not held accountable. But I mean,
it's like a doctor walking out of surgery. You can't do that.
Exactly.
Tell me, they ain't gonna pay me. You shouldn't. When you got the job, I tell you the job I got. I've done well, but I put a whole lot out. Not just my time, energy, your monies, because it's about you care about what you do. And it's certain I wouldn't let money. I do as much as I do for the fact that I don't ever want money to be an issue for me to do this. Right. I don't ever want to have to beg nobody. And my I get up, I'll do it. I don't ever want to be indebted to nobody where I can't do that because financially it won't let me. I heard Pastor, I had to go back to work, so I had to stop preaching. It's like,
wow.
I might have to work, but I ain't gonna stop preaching.
Right.
They look at if they don't pay enough for them to just do that, they're not doing it. Whether in good hope, whether in 2020, good here, what is that? I appreciate you.
So what it says, it basically says that the median household income is $72,000.
Wow.
So the median is $72,000 there. It's saying that it's the white is 88% white.
Yeah.
7% Hispanic, 4% American Indian, and 0.25% black.
Wow, that says it all.
So that says it all. So those people in that area are rich. Those people got money.
Got money. I knew that. I told you I thought it said African American was like 11%.
Oh no, African American 0.25%.
1,200 people. They don't want. But let me tell you this. This is what they did, right? This is not
0%. Black and African American is 0%.
And you know what they did? Let me tell you what they did to keep them out. Y'all know what it was?
That cost of living, that them house, they can't
Exactly. It's the cost of living them how exactly. That's what they do.
That, she hit it down. They look at people like it's ridiculous. I'm not gonna pay that, but they don't realize we still coming. There's some of us gonna pay that to say I want my kids somewhere safe too in a good school. But see, they looking at the police officer walk out. Hey, that wasn't nothing. All of them know each other.
We not gonna be there by ourselves. That's for sure. We gotta bring.
Tuli, I've been out there. Listen, Tuli. When I tell you I was the only one there, I was the only one there.
Oh, you went to that town?
Yeah, so I went to a town that was near that town. The town I went to was actually called St. Peter's.
Hold on, let me ask you a question. Did you hear the question?
You said I went to that town.
No, you said I've been there. You kept saying it.
I've been to Minnesota. Yes, I've been to Minnesota.
That's not a town. That's the state. Let's follow simple rules. What I asked you was, have you been? You said, yeah, I've been there. Oh yeah, I said, you've been that town. See what it is? A town that's 986,000 miles away from them. I passed by that one. So typically, now go ahead. Let's hear this one.
What I want to show you so that y'all see geographically. This is Goodhue. Where I went was a place called St. Peter.
Okay.
So St. Peter
way over here.
According to this map, about an hour and a half away. But what I had to do is I had to fly
that's the same
into
place
Minneapolis, and I had to ride all throughout to a place over here called St. Peter in Mankato. So I had to. I spent enough time there to know that I was the only person there in that whole state, pretty much. Ain't none of us there. I can tell you that.
The Tongans, Minnesota. I mean, they got a lot of. I mean, you got to figure Minnesota had the Vikings, coming in from Scandinavia. So there's always been.
To that town that Dwayne did.
He did. He was in town. He was in South Dakota.
I was in Sioux Falls.
Where?
What? I can't hear you. What you saying?
He was in Sioux Falls. Your phone, it's a little low. I hear you.
That's what you calling?
I was in Sioux Falls.
SIOUX, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sharbasi, you my answer. Was that when you were playing ball?
Yeah, playing arena football.
Yeah, that's no reason to be up there. There's no reason to be in South Dakota if you're not an Indian to play.
Right.
Yeah. The only blacks that you see are along with Africans, because that's the easiest way to get into the United States is through Canada to Minnesota. So that's why you see a lot of dark-skinned people up north, because that's the easiest way to get into the United States through Canada.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Let me tell you something.
Hit the cash out. Hit the cash out. Go ahead.
It is a very, very humbling experience to actually, be a place where you are the only one.
I did that most of my adult life, child. Working, that's how I worked. But
it's one thing where you are the only one, that works at a company.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a whole nother thing when you're the only one in the whole county.
Yeah. I know. You're right.
It's a whole nother experience when you're the only one in another county. What I did is there was a place in Kentucky.
You said made it feel real small.
About briefly last week, and when I was in
scared?
Kentucky,
real small. Make it feel real.
How did you feel?
So how I felt is that it was brought to my attention when I was there the history of the city that I was in, and I actually found it in a newspaper article because they told me to go and double check. But as you can see, this right here is the place that I was in Kentucky. Let me zoom in a little bit if I can. Get it over. What this right here is saying is Rockcastle County. The name of the road was called Nigger Creek Road. And they were petitioning to get the name of the road actually changed. They changed the road. This now is called Salt Lick Road, and that's what it's called now when I lived there, but they had just finished petitioning it to get the name changed. So when I was there visiting, a lady brought to my attention saying, hey, she actually lived on Nigger Creek Road, and she was part of the effort to get the name changed. And she let me know that black people do not live here at all. So, so this is just one sundown town that I was in, but I'm pretty sure It's all throughout the country.
Do you know why?
So if black people don't live there, who was fighting to get the name changed?
Thank you.
So it was a white lady who was fighting to get the name changed. She told me that she isn't like. Well, actually, the story is how I came to be is when I got to that town, I automatically knew I was the only person there because I was looking, and I seen the sheriff, and the sheriff drove a Jimmy 4x4 pickup truck where he looked like he was a judge and everything else too. And one day when I was on my lunch break, I went out to eat at a buffet. When I went to the buffet, there was this white lady who told me to come and sit next to her. And when I sat next to her, she told me the reason why she wanted me to sit next to her is because she wanted me to understand that not all white people are racist. And I asked her what she means by that. And she said, surely you know the history of this town that you're in. And I say, no, I don't. And that's when she started telling me the history of Nigger Creek Road and how she helped fought to get that name changed. She said because she would actually have to pay her bills and she would call online and have people mail her bills and mail stuff to her address and tell them I live on 505 Nigger Creek Road. And she said she was embarrassed to even tell people that's where she lived at. And it got to a point where they actually wanted to, she wanted to fight against it or whatever. And ultimately, over the course of time, she told me some other stuff about what they did to black people, how they boxed them up in the railroad trucks and hung a lot of them and all that other stuff. And everything. She told about the racist history of the church. She just told me, hey, you should go look it up one day. It's true.
But let me say this. Why we say about people like the sundown town, let's be practical. I don't know why we say sundown town because they kill you in daytime too.
Facts.
Great, Frederick Great, and he was daytime. George Floyd daytime. Eric Garner daytime. So we said, man, you got them places before the sun. We ain't been saying it's been up.
Facts.
So it's just like the writing. We were gonna want it to be day, and when it was day, we were gonna want it to be night. At night they terrorized. In the daytime, we worked out behind all. So you think about how strong the quote unquote African American, the so-called African American man is. You think all day you work until it's almost dark. You don't have enough time to, if you take a bath, get something to eat, and go to sleep and get back up at the crack of day. You can't get up when the sun up. You get up at the crack. The first breeze of this thing, you get up and you getting out there because you got to get started. It's so hot. And you got to work all through the day. So your body has to acclimate as it's coming up. Your body keeps adjusting. If you just walk straight out there today and it's up, you're done. You already defeated. So at nighttime, you trying to sleep and all you got is folk burning, riding horses, cutting the food. But they ain't been working. They've been resting in the daytime to wear you out. So now when you give it the daytime, you got something that's up. They got just one or two out here making sure y'all just keep doing what you're supposed to do while they get their rest call. Tonight we're gonna have y'all running. So you so high strung that you don't know how to adjust. You don't know how to to really think, consciously about what your moves are because you get very little sleep. In the daytime, you pressured all day. What y'all think about that?
Mm-hmm. That's crazy. We got something else to talk about too. I know Dr. Joe had a presentation tonight. I want to make sure we get to that.
Yes. Hopefully the internet's better now. Am I behind or am I okay?
You're behind.
Oh my goodness. You call you a posterior.
I don't know what else to do.
I had doing something different.
Go ahead and just try to do your best. Go ahead. Just do your best. Go ahead.
Yeah, just talk. Okay.
Well, the thing is that it's going to freeze when I present because if it's slow. Okay. Let me know. Okay.
You right about that.
Keep going.
Let's say something else.
Keep talking. We can hear you. Just keep talking.
She's probably getting together.
I'm going to be a little bit behind, so just bear with me.
Now I'm gonna call up. It said Sean Lip said bear with me, and then it said something else. Oh, that was that. It'll have a sound coming up.
All right, girl.
From my job, I was like, let me present. But can you guys hear me or am I behind? Because I don't want to be behind.
No, we're gonna.
Presentation more so than you, so that's fine.
Okay, good. All right, so I'm just gonna play this little video first. Let me just.
Mr. Bossy, wake up and watch presentation.
I was just waiting to see somebody say I was asleep, and I wasn't asleep.
Oh,
I just felt like I was in school when people said presentation. You get your good quick
Right.
5 minutes right quick.
That's it, boy. Stop sleeping, getting in. Pray they don't
Videos
catch
not.
Mind your business, man. Like to me and say, mind your biscuits.
you.
Can you guys hear it?
turn up some.
Like, well, get it past animal acute hearing and get it to human.
Oh, you know she.
Hey, Dr. Joe, let me play that video because I have that video that you're referring to, and we'll come back to
Okay,
the slide.
go
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yes.
All right.
Let me stop presenting, okay? Stop sharing.
All right.
By the time a human embryo is 5 weeks old, it is just the size of an apple seed, but the brain has already begun to grow. By 8 weeks, the basic structure of the brain and central nervous system are in place. Neural networks are spreading out, and even now the nerve signals are traveling more than 150 miles an hour. At birth, nearly all 100 billion neurons of the human brain are already in place, but the brain only weighs about 25% of what it will later on. It's about to embark on its fastest growing period, quadrupling in size by the time a child finishes preschool. By age 6, the brain is 90% of its adult size. During that burst of growth, 700 new neural connections are formed every second. As we gain the capacity to smile around 2 months, to talk usually around a year, and to dress ourselves around the age of 3. In those early years, in fact throughout our lives, the brain changes through experience, learning to speak, taking those first steps, understanding colors and shapes, forming novel thoughts. But as certain neurons are used more frequently, other unused neurons go away. It's a process called pruning. And almost anything can shape us in those baby and toddler years. First words, first ice cream, first TV show, first argument, for better or worse.
Interesting.
Okay, so am I behind still? I'm gonna take my video out.
You can go ahead and talk. Keep talking. Joe. I can hear you.
All right. I'm not behind, right?
Nah.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, because if I put my video raw, it just goes slow.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so basically, I wanted to talk about the brain or development of the brain because
Joanna, if you don't go ahead and talk, girl.
I'm talking. Oh no.
Go present the thing.
That's my internet. That's nothing I can do.
We hear you, Joe. We hear you. We'll tell you when we don't.
Go.
You're good. Go right ahead, sugar. For real.
I think I'm going to send the PowerPoint to the love doctor and then just call.
Joe, you don't and talk about this stuff, girl. You're fine.
Okay.
Go ahead, yeah.
Okay.
Talk.
All right. So basically, I wanted to talk because the kids are going back to school. A lot of parents are asking questions. So I said, okay, let's talk about the development of the kids. And I do mention a lot where, like, I say parents are responsible for the kids' behavior. So I can't keep saying that without explaining why I think that way. Just give me 1 second. So I share my screen. Great. Okay. You can see my screen right now?
No.
Bear with me.
Why's you snoring?
Probably like. Okay, she gonna come back, y'all.
Celebrate, she coming back home. She's coming back home. Yeah. But you know what? That was really interesting though, looking at the brain and what it was saying.
Yeah.
That was I mean, it's like, wow. That's really something. Because you think about it, you're like, that's tight. People don't look at stuff like that, but that's a lot to consider. How much your kids see, how much they ingest and take in at such an early state, and how much shapes them and the brain. I think that would make a lot of people, I think, look differently at what we have been thinking about as far as the homosexual agenda. You know, things don't bother them. Oh, I ain't worried about that. But now you have to really think about what are the kids getting taught in school and what's the emphasis. And this is at the early point of shaping their brain. So this is no doubt, it tells me it's a major agenda to control the minds of our kids. And if they're going to change the whole dynamics. Whether people know it or not. I mean, based on that video, I just heard we're done. Dr. Joe, can you hear us? Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right,
I can hear you guys. Let's try this one more time. Yahweh willing. All right, so okay, my screen is right there. Going back to my PowerPoint. All right. Let me know if you guys can't hear me. Okay.
We can hear you.
Okay, perfect. So just talking about the brain real quick. Like I heard a little bit of what Tony was saying, and the importance of understanding how the kid develops depending on what the environment, what they're watching, what they're seeing, what the parents are exposing them to. So basically a child's brain is like a house. You know, I know Tony and Love Doctor, they're into building houses. So the brain is like blocks. We see it right here. Sorry, I moved this. Kind of like if you guys can see it right there.
Yeah.
It's like blocks. So the brainstem is the foundation of the brain, and that needs to be built since they're babies. So I'm going to give a couple of steps on understanding the child's brain and why it develops the way it develops and how you can help it develop the correct way. So experiences shapes our brains. How your child brain develops daily is shaped by the environment and experiences you provide. So if the child is raised by abuse, substance abuse, if they're seeing a lot of homosexuality, if they're seeing, depending on the environment, that's how the brain is developing. The world your child lives in affects how their brain grows. Your child needs many new positive experience and a safe, stable home environment to build a healthy brain. And you're going to understand why in certain areas of our cities, certain kids struggle with anxieties, learning disabilities, and all those issues. So it depends on the brain, on how their environments is, their caregivers and the parents are raising them. So your child needs many new positive experiences in a safe, stable home environment to build a healthy brain. Healthy relationships are the most critical experiences your child can have. So how can a child can have a healthy relationship if dad is in jail and mom is working 24/7 or busy? So that's why I wanted to bring this to our community, right? We can help children grow healthy brains by following these 6 steps. So these 6 steps will help our children grow a healthy brain. So help me make connections. A baby brain is ready to connect. Babies build their brain by clicking with you and the world around them. At birth, a baby's brain has 100 billion nerve cells called neurons waiting to connect. So when they say that there's no baby in the stomach when the woman is pregnant, that's a lie. The brain is developing already in the womb. So each neuron can make thousands of connections or only a few depending on a child's environment and experiences. Spending quality time with your child can increase your child's brain power. You can help your baby build brain connections by talking, hugging, singing, reading, playing, and exploring. I don't know if you guys have heard that school, the Montessori school.
Story. Yeah.
Where it's like the child is experiencing hands-on.
Right.
And it's usually private schools, but it helps the brain develop in a better way than other than sitting down and just listening to a teacher talk. So the brain is use it or lose it. So the brain is like a machine. Think about it like a machine. If you don't use it, it does not develop. So I know, Tony, you mentioned something when you were teaching, and it's like if you don't use a part of the body, for example, as exercise, if you don't use your legs, let's say you don't walk, eventually your legs will give up because the brain is giving a signal that you don't need it. So it's the same thing with the baby. Like it's like a machine. There are windows of opportunity in early brain development. Some of these windows close very quickly. For example, areas of the brain involve vision, which are connected by 18 months. So the vision is developed by 18 months. So you want to expose your child to colors, nature, so they can develop that. If a cataract or an eye patch blocks the infant vision when the brain needs to be making connection for vision, a child will lose the ability to ever see out of that one eye that was affected. So that's how powerful the brain is. So children need to be the right experiences at the right time. So age appropriate, of course. Let me continue to the next one. And so be there for your child. A healthy, caring relationship is food for the child's growth of the brain. I was raised with my grandparents, but regardless of who's raising the child, to my understanding, it doesn't really matter. The caretaker, the parent, let's say that one parent is missing. I feel like as the mother should find a male figure to kind of fill that void for the child so it can help out. So healthy, caring relationships are food for a child growing brain. By 6 months, babies can tell the differences between phases they know and don't know, just like us. So by 18 months of their age, the areas of the brain that control the emotions are connected. Babies learn about healthy relationships and how to handle stress from you. So if a baby is growing up in an environment where they fight or substance abuse, they're learning that. And that's going to be their response whenever they grow up and they see issues, they're going to respond the same way they saw it with their parents or caretakers when they were babies. So your baby will be like that the same way, stressed. Your child need you to love, comfort, and encourage them. Ensure that the caregiver also provides a safe, nurturing environment for your child. So this is what I was explaining before. So understanding the building blocks of the brain. The child's brain is developed from the bottom up. So all of our brains are developed from the bottom up. The brainstem and the midbrain are the first areas of the brain and to develop and connect. These areas are called the survival brain. So these are the basic needs of a child because they can control function and keep us alive, and then controls the blood pressure, the body temperature. The limbic system is the next building block of the brain. When you have a gut response, that's kind of like when you teach a child, hey, there's a fire, you got to run. Here, there's a car, you got to run. You know, some children have developmental issues, so they can't respond to that. But usually that's how they start building their gut response about something or danger or things happening around them. This comes from the limbic system in your brain, which handles the basic emotions. So the cortex part of the brain is the most important brain, but it cannot develop if they weren't developing the bottom brain properly. So the top of the block of the brain is the cortex, right? Which is like the last part to develop in a child's brain. This is the last area of the brain to mature. The cortex is responsible for our most complicated thinking, from decision making to multiple tasking to controlling our emotions, reading, writing, language, arithmetic. Areas of cortex functions, so children need to spend lots of time in this area of their brain. But You know, for most of our children, when they're growing in an environment that is inappropriate for them, they have a hard time developing the cortex area because they're so afraid that they're spending so much time in the brain stem, which should have been developed a long time ago. And I think what's important to know is that, you know, let's say that the child was not developed correctly. It could be fixed, but it's very difficult to fix a child's function and the order of function of the brain. So it's better to work from scratch when they're babies and help them develop appropriately so that they can become functional adults. So just building their self-esteem will help them. Give your child opportunities to succeed, a new task, developing skills from praising your child to sharing toys with another child, teaching them how to climb upstairs. Your encouraging words can boost your child's confidence and ability to face challenges. So help them feel safe. I think this is very important because, for example, me growing up, I was moving from place to place, and that prevents from the brain from growing properly. So children need to feel safe. Creating a safe home isn't just how to prevent your child from getting hurt, such as plugging outlets or putting safety gates on stairways. Yes, that's important. However, it's about creating a predictable, stable environment. The brain is created to live in a pattern area. So, hey, this is my home, this is what my mom or my dad does, and this is the pattern. So this is predictable for me. If the child moves from one home to another home, from one place to another place, the brain starts all over again, trying to develop that safe, predictable area for them. So stable environment for your child. When the child feels safe and nurtured, they can focus their energy on upper brain development and learning. So if they're moving from place to place, they can focus on the important part, which is decision making and other important things that you need to have as an adult. So children growing up in fear or chaos tend to spend more time in survival brain, trying to feel okay. They adapt to their environment, but it comes at a high cost because the children are spending less time in the cortex or thinking brain. They often have problems paying attention, sitting still, and controlling their emotions. And that's where the mental issues come from, where they can't stay still, hyperactivity, and all those issues. It's because they're trying to develop the bottom part of the brain still because they weren't able to develop it at the age they were supposed to. So just keep being there for your child. Now that they're going to school, now that they're going to be going through a lot. There are big brain changes during the adolescence. Adolescents do not have all the hardware in their brain yet to think like an adult. The adolescent brain goes through major remodeling that starts around puberty and continues into the I would say mid-20s. I say 25. Teen needs parents and caregivers in their lives more than ever to help them finish building their brain. So real quick, I'm going to talk a little bit about the teen brain. I can best explain it as a machine, as a building process machine. The teenagers think more emotionally rather than thinking. So their decision making and their stress is completely different than the child brain and the adult brain because they're full of emotions because of their hormones. So their decision making comes from emotions. So that's why they're a lot into sex. They're curious about sex. They're curious about religion. They're curious about music. They're curious about, and they make decisions out of their emotions. So it is important that we put them into, social groups, expose them to reality, explain them what sex is, explain them what religion is, explain them what music and what music does, because they're not thinking properly. They're just thinking emotionally because their hormones, that's what their brain is sending that signal to kind of make a decision out of emotions because it feels good for them, right? Sex feels good for them. Music feels good. It's what feels good for them. So that teenage brain, I would say it's more like 3 parts. It's survival brain, which is the reptilian part of the brain, and it's the bottom. And that's like happy and it also helps them breathe and make decisions. The emotional brain is the middle part of the brain, and then the thinking brain is the top part of the brain, which doesn't stop developing until 25. So with that, I know we have a lot of teenagers in high school. With that, is expose them to activities, expose them to new social gatherings, allow them to take risks, so that they can completely develop that brain, the last part of the brain, so they're 25. And when you're talking to a teenager, talk to them as, remember that they're thinking with emotion rather than thinking. So help them think, because it's hard for them to make decisions, rational decisions. So some information you should know is a baby's brain uses 3 times the amount of energy that your brain does. That's a busy brain. So by 6 years of age, like I said, a child's brain will be 90 to 95 of its adult size, have more connections than all the stars and planets in the galaxy. So there's a lot of connections happening in the brain. You can teach a child from baby to 9 new languages, and they will have no accents. After that, if you teach them a new language, and after teenage, they'll have an accent because the brain won't grab it as well as if you were a child. Children who watch more television during the first 3 years of their life are more likely to have problems with attention deficit disorder when they are 7 and 9 years old.
Hold on for a minute. Love Doctor, heard that? Go ahead.
The attention deficit disorder, after my attention, repeat.
TV needs to be cut into timing when they're growing up. Also, sleeping is very important. For teenagers, their testosterone is out of norm, so it's hard for them to go to sleep. But then that's why they have hard time concentrating in school, because they sleep very little. So these are just resources in case anybody needs resources on understanding the brain of their teenager, their child. How can they help them if they're going through something? These are websites that will help them. If they want to snap a picture of it, that would be great. Or they can message. And then this right here is just references that I used. But this is our children's brain. So let me just come out of here.
Great job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll just say. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, you had so much you're gonna say. You're behind the 8 ball again.
No, it's just how I felt like it was important for our people to understand the development of our children's brain, and how important it is to expose them to appropriate things while they're growing up, and helping them build the brain appropriately so that they can be functional adults. So
Well, I agree. I think with that, from the early part of watching the video, the first few things that struck me was we saw how crucial it is, what our kids are taught and who they're taught by, which we've known for a while, but hearing that should, incite people to become more conscious of that. Also, it lets you realize the only way to come up with those videos is to have a willing participant, specimens. And we know how those are created, by breaking homes up, by putting crack in the neighborhood, so you can constantly see the development. Because it's always some, regardless of the elements, they're going to change their development. You have some kids, their parents were drunks, and the kid will grow up and never want to drink. Despise one another spouse that drink because of what they've seen. So it's always those. That's why when they give you tests, they'll give you these numbers and let you know 9 out of 8 out of 10, whatever it might be, 5 out of 7, or 3 out of 8, because they're doing comparison. When they're doing all, they're trying to come up with a good number to say how many we can, based off the total numbers. And based off that number we got an idea of how many we should be able to get. That they do before they put restaurants on us. We'll just say this is a good plan. They're gonna do a location. They're gonna see how much traffic waves. Everything's important to them to make sure the laws and averages work to their end. And that's what they did on us. We just wasn't conscious of it. They didn't give us the knowledge of it. Now, when we get it, they've crippled enough of our people to be passive to where they can't even envision themselves as leaders and influencers in control of their own destiny. They can only see themselves interlocked in this system where we are. So that's me. That's what I say. What say you? What you think about it, Boston? See, everybody saying, Mary had a little lamb.
No, I think it was important because a lot of times I wanted to ask her a question though, like, is a killer instinct taught, or is it something you're born with?
I think
is a hustling mentality taught, or is that something you're born with?
Taught.
A grind, is that taught, or is that something you're born with? Because I think a lot of our kids, they're book smart in a way, but then when it comes down to a formula to actually initiate what is going, how to communicate in certain rooms, how to move in certain rooms.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder, what do psychologists think about those instincts?
So the killer instinct, if I'm gonna say with educational what I've learned, it's said that, for example, a serial killer, some are born.
I'm sorry, Joe.
Yeah.
Nah, come back. We're gonna go down the other back cave. I'm not talking about like a killing like in
Oh, you're talking about like in life, like a go-getter, hustler.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, so that's taught. I believe that's taught because, like I said, parts of the brain are developed by order. And if you were, sometimes survival skills teach you that, but then depending on who raised you, on what you were exposed, your brain starts learning certain behavior. And as you get older, you just start you just get smart, and you start learning to watch your environment, and you develop what you learned when you were a little boy. So you must have been exposed some way, somehow, with who you are now. A hustler, a boss, an artist, a musician. You usually exposed with those skills at a young age, and you develop them when you get older.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with that. I agree with that. Mm-hmm. We can't hear you, Tony. You're on mute.
Yeah, I said then on top of that, that's why it's so important, even in the animal kingdom, when a female mates, she looks for that strongest seed to give her that next sire, that next one that come out be that innovative, that be that breaking is locked inside a seed.
You gonna eat all that, right? That's not a one sitting. That's no. I see what you had. Can you take some of that? You cannot eat all that. Can you take some of that out of there, and then I can have it for another day? I don't have.
Hey, can y'all handle y'all budgeting eating things off now?
That's exactly what that is. That is not for one. No,
this ain't nothing.
It is something.
That's a grown man. That's a grown man.
How you think they say those kids? I have to eat right. How you think you get them 2 minutes? I got to eat to survive.
You
hungry? That's gonna come, baby. It come with hard work.
I didn't give you some food. If you hungry, that's snack. That's not food. You're gonna be hungry, and then I'm gonna have to eat something else. So let me give you some food first, and then you can come back to that. I give you a portion as a snack, please, and thank you.
Dang, who won that relationship? Man, you ain't eating Lunchables? That's sad, boy. Hold on.
Sir.
Man, she told that man, I'm gonna give you portions. Hey, listen, Smitty, I'm not gonna let you talk to that grown man like that. You just told that man, I'm gonna give you some Lunchables. Hey, put that snack back.
I'm gonna give you some Lunchables.
You gonna eat first.
Right. He needs to eat first because I know he just indulged, so he's hungry. But I have not fed him dinner yet.
Fed him dinner?
I
If
know
that man want to eat a snack first, he eat a snack.
That's not proper. He needs to eat food first, and then if he has room, which is less than 70%, if he has eat up to, you're not supposed to eat more than 70% at one time. But anyway, that's the story. If he eats up to 70%, if he gets 65, I might give him some fruit to top it off to get him 70%, and then he can have. Like you can't do 100 and then add 25% on. That's not healthy.
The food should have been ready.
That I agree.
He ain't got nothing. He had to go get the snack.
I agree.
When she come in that 2 minutes, it ain't but like a minute 30. Don't ask why.
It's over. Yep.
30
that
seconds.
Gonna put me right where I need to be. I had 2 minutes strong right outside.
That watermelon would do nothing, and then after at 12 o'clock, you're gonna be asking me for something to eat, and you shouldn't be eating that time of night. But anyway, I'm sorry, y'all. Well, you know we unscripted.
That's it.
Yes.
That's it. I hope this helping and says thanks for sharing that. Cutting down.
No, talking about Joe. That was good for Joe. It was good, Joanne. This is information that I really would have liked to have had. I think this is good to all first time moms, especially should know. This is good. All first time moms, I think that's good information because we don't know that, and I think people are more conscious and more intentional.
I think that's the key word, Tuli, is intentional.
Yeah.
Like you always teach us having that knowledge, but not only understanding the knowledge that you're being taught, but putting it into work, right? Like be intentional with what, and I know some of us probably did not get the development correctly, but now that we know how our kids should be developing their brains, then we should just put it into place and be intentional with it.
So since I didn't do that and I feel bad, what can you say to me if I didn't do this and I saw and I think about what I did, I was like, you know what, I could have done this better. I should have done this. I didn't do this. What do you say to me?
If your child is old, or
you see some places with your kid, after learning this, it's like, oh my goodness, if I had just done this, now I feel bad because my child is a serial killer, or my child is not well rounded, or my child, like he said, is not a.
I'm having connection issues. Sorry.
I can hear it.
I got a question, Dr. Joe. Can you hear me?
Go ahead. We'll answer this. You can't
what's that? I mean, that was a great presentation. So my question probably would be right on the rest of the panel is, to what degree is it the child's responsibility to gravitate to what he or her is being taught? Because a lot of the times children are reluctant to listen to the counsel of their parents or so forth, guardians, even if they go by the protocol which we just saw in those displays. I mean, what are you doing in those instances? Because that's when you have delinquency in children when they become to be rebellious. Because she had also mentioned about teenagers typically going off of emotions, but then at what point of accountability, that you start holding our children accountable based upon comprehension?
That's part of developing.
I in my opinion, I believe is go ahead, Tom.
No, go ahead. I didn't know you were even here. I was trying to find you.
Yeah, I was trying to find you too.
I didn't know you still. Go ahead.
She on there. Yeah.
I figured that when we could hear her.
Yeah, no, I was just I think I think it all depends. As a parent, you should know the job that you did with your child.
Right.
So if you feel like you did a good job raising that child to do better than what they're doing, then you need to take other action regarding your child. But if they were raised in an environment when they're not to their full potential, you should be helping them a little extra because you know what this child went through while growing up, and it's part of your fault.
Like some of it, if like you got a child that's like 4 years old,
Right.
every morning your child wakes up in the morning, you live on a farm, and the child has a mouthful of blood, and all of the chickens are in the yard dead with their heads chewed off. That's a good sign that this kid is going to be somebody big.
What?
Yeah, I'm telling you. What you think, Boston? That's not a sign to tell you wake. You live on a farm. Every morning your kid wakes up, they got a mouthful of blood, and for all the teeth in the mouth, and the chickens are in the yard dead with their head bit off them. I mean, what do you do?
Man, I'm giving that child up for adoption. It's time to run.
I'm taking that side to shoot it. I'm gonna blame on a wild animal. Yeah.
Nah.
That thing they're gonna kill you. Something like that. I mean, then you wake up, you got mite barks all in your door. You know, T-bars all in your mom and your door. So you think this kid been trying to get in this room and chew us up too and kill us?
Man, listen. Let me tell you something. You know one of the scariest things? You know Kevin, right?
Yeah. Boogie.
Yeah, Boogie. Little Kevin.
Oh, little Boogie. All right.
Little Kevin used to stay with us. You know, Kevin, when we stayed together. And little Kevin, he's very light skinned. Like very light skinned, like powder.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When he was a baby.
Got a little tent. Go ahead.
Man, look here. Let me tell you something. I used to go to the kitchen, and I don't know, you know, on the old Jones house, he had the door, he had the steps to go up.
Yeah.
And then you had the steps to go down.
Yeah.
And I was in the master room. I used to walk to the kitchen.
Yeah.
That man used to be in front of that door, and he used to, in the dog, and he had his head looking like this. And the dog walked by.
Looking like Casper the Friendly Ghost.
Go!
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, listen. Man, I'd be like, man, what the heck? At the time, he'd be like, go. Go. And he just turned the head the other way. That's a hello, man. Hey!
Sounds like Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah.
Oh, man. He has grown to be a smart young man, but I just can't, you know. That's the little stuff I can't do. Where's the man with the mustard turtleneck?
Probably got to go wash his neck. That neck got to be better. He don't know that. He ain't gonna wash that neck. You can't do with some of them things, and then you have got to wash that neck. You know what I'm saying? Start itching.
Right. I got a question. How far is Chatsworth, Georgia from you all?
Chatsworth?
How about an hour and a half?
I never heard of that.
Well, it's one.
Chatsworth. Yeah, it's right below Dalton. Yeah, Chatsworth.
It's one of those other little small towns like we were talking about, like Goodview, Michigan. And the reason I was bringing that up is I was wondering if you had all heard about the incident about the 87-year-old woman being tased for picking flowers.
No, she was what?
87 years old. She was picking flowers and she was tased by law enforcement. And I was wondering what would cause a police officer to have to tase an 87-year-old woman? I mean,
was it here?
Yeah, Chatsworth, Georgia.
Recently?
That's right. Look it up.
A couple years ago, I believe it was, but I was trying to think. I was trying to wonder. I mean, like, what would I mean, you know, what's the demographics in Chatsworth? Is it predominantly white? Because this woman it's predominantly white.
If
Lord can pull that up, she's an African American woman, so-called Negro woman. She was tased, 87 years old, for picking flowers. And I'm like,
she wasn't paying attention.
There was something else going on.
Yeah,
They're gonna get a story out like
Charles,
that.
wasn't it a while ago?
yeah, it was a while ago, but yeah, I mean, like you said, I don't know if this woman suffered from mental illness, dementia, or what have you. But what harm really could an 87-year-old woman actually do to law enforcement for them to tase her? You know what I mean? And is that a sundown town too? Or I mean, like
sun up, sundown, noontime, get out. Man, Chatsworth. I worked all of that. Chatsworth, Dalton.
Is this it right here?
Let's see.
This was fun.
Noise what?
It's sad, I know that. I think this is it.
2018 Chatsworth.
It was 2019.
A 911
caller. Yeah, this is it.
Minutes later, police used a stun gun on the 87-year-old anyway. She's home now after getting released from the hospital and says she's doing well.
white.
Channel 2's Elliott is live in Chatsworth.
She white?
She Arabic, I think.
She was asked to stop cutting flowers from the property next door.
See, I told you.
She was
Stay
cutting
over behind
dandelions
people's
for a
yard.
salad. 87-year-old Martha Al-Bishara did bring a knife on the property owned by the Boys
See?
and Girls Club.
I told you. Tase that mother.
Police ordered her to
Tase
drop
her
it. She
again.
didn't, and they tased her.
See that?
This is a photo of 87-year-old Martha Al-Bishara in the
Ain't paying
hospital a
attention.
few hours after Chatsworth police tased her. Her family gave us this photo. And this was her Tuesday, waving from her front porch. Still too weak to answer questions, but doing well.
She's recovering, still a little shook up,
Oh,
a
yeah,
little
she was
sore
like African-
from
I
what she's,
thought she was mulatto.
gone through.
Friday afternoon, Al-Bishara walked across the street from her house to cut some dandelions for her salad from property owned by the Boys and Girls Club. When they saw a woman with a knife, they called 911.
She's old, so she can't get around too well. Looks like she's walking around looking for something, like vegetation to cut down or something. Hang the knife onto the property. It's in her hand. She didn't try and attack anybody or anything.
But when police arrived, they ordered Al-Bishara, who does not speak English, to drop the knife. When they say she didn't and moved toward them, they tased her.
She really didn't know what was going on while they were there. So she had no clue, what to expect.
Her nephew, Solomon Dune, is a former Dalton police officer. He admits Chatsworth police didn't appear to do anything procedurally wrong, but wishes they had used more common sense to disarm his 87-year-old aunt.
Leslie for force is the practice that we normally, but in this case, if you could tell the communication wasn't working, she was not posing a threat. Give it time, let it play out.
And get stabbed right in your neck. Get stabbed right in your neck.
We did reach out to the Chatsworth Police Department. Haven't heard back from them yet. However, they did do, the police chief did an interview with the Dalton Daily News. We've been able to post that interview on our website. Check it out on WSBTV.com. Live in Chatsworth, Richard Elliott, Channel 2 Action News.
And Richard, just quickly, has she done this before? Has she gone over there to
did.
cut flowers before?
Yeah. Her family says she did walk across the street to cut flowers, literally just across the street. To make sure it doesn't happen again, the Boys and Girls Club actually repaired a fence so she can no longer get on the property.
That is neighborly.
Wow, I didn't know the backstory. Wow.
But the thing was, she cutting the dandelion. Nobody keep them for flower. They count them as weeds.
Right.
She's doing you a favor. She cutting dandelion. I thought she's not cutting tulips or roses. Nobody grows dandelion except for somebody growing them to sell them at medicinal purposes. Those are considered weeds.
Right.
But they show a bit. I know it was more to the story, but you still, and then the fact you show the flowers in the front of that, like she was there. You see how they created a narrative,
right? Yeah.
Police they shot an African American woman, 87 years old. All she was doing was picking flowers. Not she got a knife. She's not African American. She moving towards police with a knife. But see, I knew when I heard the story, it would have blew up too big. So it's they control the narrative because news and TV want us to read it and get involved. They wanted to riot and then find out later, we made a fool out of ourselves.
Right.
But people don't care.
But then, like I say, they tased the lady. I mean, she learned. I mean, didn't she have a purpose to have the knife? I mean, I don't know. I kind of disagree with it, but that's just my opinion. I mean, how much threat could an 87-year-old pose to you know what I mean, to a couple of officers? I mean,
right. But you say what you gotta. They said, but then listen, the call. She was the person. She was old. She had a knife. She had some on her hand. She looked to be cutting like she was trying to cut some weeds or something. Mm-hmm. So the description lets you know kind of how you approach it. I'm dealing with an elderly person with a knife.
That don't speak English.
I'm out. Well, it's not even English. I gotta put in my mind. I'm going to a call about an elderly woman who's cutting some weeds on somebody else's property. So I get out, see that I'm talking. I can tell she can't communicate. If she's not answering me, something's wrong with her. Right. Because if she can't answer me, if she speaks in another language, I'm realize so she don't speak English. So I can show her, take the knife, put the knife down.
Right.
So that could be done, but I wouldn't know she was 87 when I just get to the call. If anything, I'd have figured anyway, she might have dementia. She's out here by herself. She can't understand what I'm saying. A lot of things come to my mind. She's 87. I didn't get a call about her approaching people, swinging at cars, all that kind of stuff. That's a protocol for the mood you're going to be in when you come.
Mm-hmm. I found the police video. Let's take a look. The body cam.
Oh, yeah.
Is he breathing hard? Goodness. That joke is coming. Goodness. What's that? Y'all see him?
Chatsworth for 10-4. I'm out with him.
No, they want to give you their body cam. What's it?
It was kind of close though.
Come on,
man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. They want to yeah.
Police officers.
Come on, man. You don't hit us. We got to take it to the beat.
Stand up. Stand up. Stand up. Stand up.
Man, and you handcuffing her?
Yeah.
Wow. Come on, man. And she been tased?
Easy.
Easy.
You just tased this lady, tell her to be easy.
Turn chest there.
The things on her chest, man. You gotta put them.
Don't take this the wrong way.
What you gonna say, Sean?
But that was
on, man.
That's what?
What you gonna say, Sean?
You hear that she can't. She still responding with English. I mean, that's just. I just couldn't see she her in the chair with no taser, man. I couldn't see that one.
Yeah, that's wrong,
tight, man.
That's real. I mean, come on, man. Yeah, them two big white guys. Come on, man. Y'all need a taser for her. Y'all shouldn't even be working, man. What you doing, a regular person?
I mean, she could have that.
Hey, but listen. I mean, these ain't pull out the gun.
Right. That's why she could have got.
But they know that's gonna be argumentative what he just did then. But you know, this is the thing though. They knew that. So why wouldn't you go for the gun? Because if you can go for the taser, you really go for the gun.
And who called the police?
The Boys and Girls Club.
They said she was old. They said she's old. She's barely getting around.
Right.
I heard the call. He told me. He said she barely can get around.
He said she got a knife.
But that wasn't her first time
she's
going
looking to
over
be
there.
cutting. Yeah, she said he told him about. He said she looking to be cutting some weeds. He told him that like she's cutting something, some weed. So I'm not coming here looking for an older person with a gun stabbing people. She cutting weed. And I'm thinking this might be a mental call where we need to get somebody who's in a mental field.
Mental health out. I mean, But then
You pop over with a taser. Come on, man. How close she got to them? Come on, man.
The way they de-escalated that was like, and then you handcuffed the lady. I mean,
come on, man. She ate us. Get her other arm. What's she gonna? If she take us down, we done anyway. They can say proceed. Okay, man. This woman, I just tasered this woman. This what she finna take off running?
Right.
You know she was in pain. Them taser put you down, man. I think they had to pull them out because they go in your skin and stick. So
pull them out, right?
So she already was in pain, and they can realize she don't speak English. Oh, blank.
Did
You
you
know what
see
I'm
her
saying?
face? But they didn't even show her face. Unless she had dirt in her face, or mud, like they had.
I think she had something wrapped around her head. I think that was a what you call that?
A crip bandana.
Yeah.
Crip.
You had to have her hair tied up. She know they're gonna shoot her. Maybe hit the ground.
They settled with her for $150,000 too.
Think about it. Think about it. It's a reason why they didn't show the police video of the body camera of the actual police officer who takes it.
Exactly. I know they did, but I saw that as well. See, you pick stuff you have to pick up. Why would you go with him? Because you didn't want us to see what they viewed the camera before they showed them.
They get it, but then why would you give her $100,000 if she was in the wrong?
Exactly. Because they knew she was. You heard the son. You said he was talking to nephew. He was saying, he said things should have been done differently. The call didn't warrant it. That's the whole thing. Look at a traffic ticket can turn into all our gun breaks. You stop somebody who's a murderer or on the run who's kidnapped this child. But you'll call for an elderly woman who can barely get around. She seems to be cutting some wood, not in the street with a knife. That's different.
Right.
She in the street with a knife, cars riding by. So I'm looking at still, okay, I'm coming to a call of a person with a weapon that's elderly who might have a mental issue.
Right. And I guarantee you they didn't have a no trespassing. They probably didn't even have a no trespassing sign posted anywhere.
And who
You know what I mean? Like,
It's like a black guy from the YMCA. But his call was not threatening. He didn't put a throttle. He said she's elderly. She can barely get around. I mean, I don't know why he called police. I guess they didn't want her on their property. The boys at the YMCA didn't want this woman on their property to cut weeds.
Wow.
You cutting weeds, nothing. She's taking nothing value. It's very valuable in the health field, but these bastards ain't got enough brain to use it.
If kids were there, they had a duty to protect the kids inside the Boys and Girls Club.
I agree.
Yeah,
they said they had a gate up. They said had a gate up now to keep people from in around that. But if you can drive on the property, you can get to the Boys and Girls Club people. It ain't no gate where you going in and out like a guard. Boys and Girls Club, you just pull in. YMCA.
Yep.
Right.
So her walking the gun, people can drive up and shoot it up.
yeah, that's. I mean, I don't get it. But it's just again, I just want to stress again how much Two Minds in the Mic has been so instrumental, in my life and the viewers as well. Haven't seen or heard from nephew E in a while, but if you got that nephew,
I ain't heard from him either. Appreciate you.
We
I
love
see
you, man.
I see him, nephew. He probably, he drive truck, but I see him because I'll see the screen sometime just before I come in. I'm looking at the screen. I see who's up there.
It's called the college football season is about to start, and Deion Sanders is going to play his first game.
Oh, I remember
That's
y'all
what
got
that's
that
called.
bet going on. That's
So
right.
when is the first game?
In about 3 weeks.
Yeah, oh yeah. We can't leave out. I can't leave out my dear beloved friend, Mr. Lawson, up in Mississippi, another worthless state. He probably best thing in Mississippi.
And I didn't hear a black person yet call Jackson State name in over 2 months. So y'all some hypocrites. Hypocrites. They never said Jackson State. I haven't seen nobody with a shirt. I haven't seen nobody I'm a supporter. I'm this, I'm that. I know exactly what y'all was gonna do. Go right back to y'all Caucasian colleges. There's nothing wrong with it.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with it. But stop crying wolf when somebody go over the better. I never seen it. Nobody want to say nothing.
I got to tell you, I know what Jackson have a lot of people that'll come out and support him this year for the fact that people feel like y'all lost your coat,
Right.
Preaching stands are empty. The
So,
stands are empty.
Sean Boston. So, what do you think about the alleged incident they just had over at Colorado University? The big melee they just had.
What happened?
The what? The what?
The melee they just had at Colorado University. Some big melee fight broke out. You didn't hear? I'm surprised you didn't hear about that one.
You talking about the football team?
Yes, sir.
When Deion Sanders said one fight, all fight.
Right, but yeah, they said they actually, I think they actually got video footage of them actually, throwing blows. I didn't actually look at the clip itself, but I did.
It was football fight between the offense and defense.
Okay.
And the offensive player, they fought. Was pushing a little defensive player, and all the defensive players jumped on the offensive player.
And what team was
the problem was, which is controversial, the offensive player didn't come help the other offensive player.
Oh.
And Deion Sanders said, "Hey, why y'all didn't go help y'all teammate?"
Okay.
He stated, "In one fight, we all fight." That was controversial.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? But
right.
It was just, God, listen, calm down, guys. We it's nothing. It's nothing.
Yeah, I just looked at. You know how they kind of propagate things when they.
I understand. But
Yeah,
I don't want this to deter us from early voting, and to see all the African Americans not supporting Jackson State, as I knew they wouldn't after Deion Sanders was gone. I haven't seen one shirt. I haven't seen one celebrity.
They saying that, so now they saying the stands are empty. I'm just hearing that.
Preach it. Nobody going to the spring game. Nobody showing up.
Nobody.
The coach is fighting these folks, man.
Well, they call fair weather fans, ain't that right?
Well, I mean, that's the thing with team, bro. I mean, it feel like you're a Dolphin fan. You always been a Dolphin fan. Other people look at, man, I'm not staying with a losing team. I'm gonna move. Sometimes they don't like the team for just that player. Sometimes it's teams like me. I like the Patriots for Tom Brady. I like Tampa Bay for Tom Brady. If Tom Brady wins a league, I would like that team because I like Tom Brady. I like the way he plays on the system, what he brings to a team. So I'm not. Some people like Belichick. Some people stay Patriots. I'm just loyal with the Patriots. It don't matter if they lose. I know this guy. His proper name is Chimp. Pansy last name. Hey. So anyway. He loves it. He don't care how riding, how terrible they are. Come on, Commanders. Come on, Commander. He raised his son. And you talking about brain development earlier. I told him, I said, Dad, do not follow everything he said. Don't let him pan with that cup dragging the floor. This man say his pan length is a 42. Do you not talk, man? Shaquille O'Neal couldn't wear 42 with Patrick Ewing stand on his shoulder. You can't wear that. This man said his length is a 42. And he said he got a size 30 waist. That means that man is built like a pencil. 42 length, but anyway, he will not let that losing team go. This man ain't never believed in a winner before in his life. Now he tried to believe the Braves, but that's out of. I mean, come on, we went, then we came back and won. Why win you? That's a win. He's trying to look like he's breaking his streak. He's not. He has so many losing teams. You know what I'm saying? This man ain't. I mean, this man picked the worst team. He picked the horse one time on the race, and the horse was running the other way. He still bet on it. Listen, that's how bad it is. By the time they got the finish line, the other horse was just coming around, coming down the stretch to get to the starting line. So I can't follow everybody like that, you know. So if some people just like losing, I'm me, I ride. I'm like, listen, man, I'm Brady fan. Brady gone. I don't see nobody right now. I'm telling you who I do like, that boy from the Eagles. I like her. I really like the way he played. But see, I also like in Buffalo. I'm believing in
Josh
Buffalo.
Allen.
Yeah, I'm looking at Allen. I said I want to pass him to go. Mahomes has done his thing. He got another good one on his belt. I don't see him getting nowhere in the tongue. He puts too much of himself out there. And the football don't give you back to put yourself out there.
So let me ask you this question: What do y'all think? What do y'all think about y'all hosting the Super Bowl this year? This season?
Las Vegas.
Next year.
You said
no, Atlanta supposed to get it this year.
It's going to Las Vegas.
Really?
Yeah. We getting the World Cup.
Well, I thought you guys, because Las Vegas was the year before last.
But it's going to Las Vegas. They're going to be going to Las Vegas.
Yeah, it was Las Vegas. It was LA,
okay.
LA, Arizona, and Vegas.
Okay.
Well,
I thought you guys were getting it. Okay.
But they keep it on the West Coast hard. West Coast need their money bad, man.
Yeah, we need it, man. We need to go to Vegas, man. I never been to Las Vegas
I've never been
to visit, you know.
Since
I tell you this,
here's a fun fact. Here's a fun fact for y'all. It is approximately 7:59 here in the Confederate State 48, and we're at a whopping 112 degrees.
Wow.
At what time?
It's 7:51.
It's dark already. Y'all get dark early, though, don't you?
Yeah, it's dark, and it's 112 degrees.
That's you know crazy. What? You know, though, places that get hot, it had to get dark early. It's no way the earth can't take it. It'll burn the earth up, man. Arizona has been hot enough down out there. They tar on the road. They black tar has started melting.
But you know what they're starting to do now? They're starting to paint the streets white to reflect the.
Yeah.
Oh wow! Look at there.
That's why some of them do the gray color street because the black tar actually black
raw.
White
tar here in Arizona. Yeah.
Why you think people color get so angry so fast? We easily get hot.
Right.
We easily get hot. Listen, we ain't gonna do it. We're a bunch of together. All we're gonna do is draw some heat.
That's so right about that.
You go there and see how many Eskimos look like us. Man, man, that stuff blowing, that snow blowing. Man, no. Chicago, up north, you can go out long enough to go to the liquor store. Go to work, come home. Them folk go out there and hunt and that stuff. We don't play no stuff like that, man. No. That's not us. We heater babies.
Oh, yeah.
We come out the womb at 136 degrees. That'll cool us off.
Yeah, did y'all see the woman getting backlash for working a 24-hour shift at the hospital? And as soon as she got off, she went to make her man his dinner, and she's getting backlash for that.
Are you serious?
She make them look bad.
Yes.
I didn't see that.
I didn't either.
Yes. And
why? Who's mad?
They're saying, well, why he don't go get nothing to eat? You done worked hard. You know all them I'm every woman, and she's saying, I don't see what's wrong with that. I like to cook for my husband. Even though I work, I still got to come home and cook. And she's getting backlash for that. And I wish the love doctor was on here. He can put it on, but yeah, that was interesting.
That's interesting.
I'm not sure. It was on the state of Instagram.
Whoever see it, tell I support them. I need to find out. I support. Tell them help us shut their mouth.
Kudos.
That's a good thing, man. I mean, sometimes what you get mad for? Let that woman do her thing for a man.
Right. Who's complaining, Shaz? What? Just people?
In the comments, like you got to read the comment on what.
Some liberals. Ooh.
That's crazy. Hello?
Yeah.
I was like, good. I just seen him hitting that girl. I was like, what in the world is this? But I was thinking about something that y'all put,
What about the backlash about the doctor, the woman that tried to deliver the baby and severed the baby's head?
Yeah, we still waiting for that.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Say it again. I missed something. Man,
Nah, I did. I want to know who was fighting.
Man, I was just looking. I was gonna send this over. I'm gonna send it to you how y'all can see. Goodness, I was just tripping on that. I'm like, goodness, man, people. I mean, I've been a violent man before. I've been a violent man. What we at in that man society, people just really got man. It just. Ooh, I just said in the whole thread on them, but I don't know, man. People just crazy, man. We're in a bad place, and somewhere we got to change it. We at where we telling our kids the white people the enemy, white people telling their kids we the enemy, and Hispanic everybody just attacking each other, man. And it ain't everybody. It's people. It's a lot of people. We got to get out of everybody. Like we said, if you ain't with us, you racist. And then you learn it ain't fair. What I think is a lot of people in it. I just don't want to get involved. I just want to go and just keep me and my family safe. Y'all keep that. I don't want to be bothered with either one of y'all. I just want to be me. And people have been grouped in. Like if a white person have an opinion on one thing, oh, you one of them or us. You one of them. No, a lot of us ain't with it. We don't agree with it. You can forget it. We don't agree with it. Right, just right. Nothing that white America did years ago justify or warrant something that can be done there other than the right to break away and establish our own. If we're being grabbed, if it's our safety defense, then at that point it's straight defense. That's just flat. I don't care what color y'all.
That's
but
right.
But the truth of the matter is, we just got to break away from it. Just the only way we're gonna grow, we're gonna evolve. You got to get away. Listen, you can't afford to let them do any health care on you. People say what they want. You do what you want. We have to operate that way. Let's come in and engage as mutuals, where I can see my own doctors.
Right.
I have my own police and my own military. I have my own banking. If you want to cross over that fact, we're going to bank and we're going to do business together. But we just need that opportunity where we have that power. We say we can shut down here.
Right.
You don't shut us down. We can still operate. We have a military. We have a banking system.
Right.
We have institution. We have college. I'm talking. We have because white America has that. And even with other, they have banks that'll favor Latinos. They have banks that'll favor Asian, Chinese. Nobody. They have grocery stores. Nobody favors us but Piggly Wiggly.
Right.
Citco. These are your gas stations. Because they got cigarillos and this is a national chain. Citco, Venezuelan owned. These people put these gas stations on here to hurt us.
Yeah.
Single cigarettes, the plastic over the window. You create plenty of lottery flashing in your face. You can't go and you either getting gas or lottery or one of them bills and throw it in the parking lot till you just destroy yourself. Suck the money out of your community, drench the money out of your community. You're done. If you don't start thinking, listen, we will soon be at that point extinguished.
Imperialism at its finest. Oh, Ra, let me ask you this question, y'all, the rest of the panel too. What are your thoughts on the military guy that's saying that he wants to be over in North Korea because of the racism in the United States? I believe, in my opinion, if they was to get him back on American soil, it would probably kill him.
He's going to jail. He has felony. He has some. If it's true, he has some felony charges he was going to face coming back over here. They would ship him out. Yeah, he was flying back. He didn't want to come back. He knew he was going to face those charges.
So can they charge him with treason?
Yeah, I mean, he'll deserve it. They get you for deserting. Treason is when you give over information. He give over information, that's going to be punishable. That could be punishable by death. But
I'm saying, who's not to say they don't propagate that and make it saying that he is actually giving away information? Because they said when he went on leave, he got on a tour bus and purposely went over the neutral zone, the DMZ, and
he did. Which tell me he'll plant. To me, I'll tell you what. If Kim Jong-il trusts him, he'll trust anything. I wouldn't, because it makes no sense. Looking at him, you're already in a foreign country. Although you're American soldier, you still got these laws that differ from yours. You're not finna just jump over no gate and run over here to no North Korea that you know nothing about. You're not the color we negotiate to get back. Your name ain't Bird Dog.
Right.
We ain't negotiating with no Talibans and nobody get you back. So that tells me that he got over here and Kim Jong-il think he got something. And he don't realize all you got is our plan.
Right, because they say he spent 4 months jail prior to. He had just got out of jail, out of the military jail. What was he in Korea?
He's on the 11 one. Yeah, he's in South Korea. But he coming back on here. They send the 11 word. 11 word hard for them boys. That's hard work. That's fair, yeah. So that man looking at you gonna jump over the gate and do that. I'm not. I mean, a place you don't know nothing about. I'm just gonna take my chance on a country where quote unquote don't get this man quote unquote killed his uncle because he fell asleep. My name ain't Dennis Rodman.
You said the soldier killed his uncle?
That's the lie they put out by Kim Jong-il that he killed. That was a big thing.
Okay,
He killed his uncle. You know, his uncle. He showed his uncle. His uncle's very much alive. They look like a fool. But I think why he did that, it gave him opportunity to know who was a plant.
Right.
You remember one time they came out, they said Kim Jong-il was dead.
Right. I remember that.
It wasn't him. They said it wasn't him. It was like that was an old video. Wow, he never comes out in public and greet people. And he came and had to realize. But you know why I think he did that? Because it let him know who's a plant.
Right.
Because I got you believing that you done ran your mouth and ran out of here. Think we're not going to tell the whole country I'm dead. You got to get people prepared. You got to get government. You got to get a lot of stuff set up to make sure you don't have anarchy.
Right.
So he did this. It's a lot of stuff they'll throw, and they only let a couple of people know. And they're like, listen, everybody know right now Kim's dead. And you did exactly what they want you to do. You called and you got it out, and they know when he do the numbers and break them down. You had to tell them. You had to say. He knows there are. Yeah, he know influx in that way. There's no way. They always flip people.
Then last but not least, what do you think about Donald Trump? You think the indictment in Atlanta going to stick?
I think all of them gonna stick. He ain't getting out of any of them unless he just agreed to just let go of politics altogether. Sign off.
They just said this morning on our local news, they said that they're gonna bring this 5th indictment for trying to bribe the electors over here in Arizona.
Oh wow!
He called y'all you know the representative, one of the highest representatives for in Arizona. He sits over that board for that. He said they called him. I watched him go before the Senate. He told him that they called him. Giuliani and told him don't certify the election because it was all rigged. And he said, he said you got information, send me the information. He said, don't worry about information, just don't certify. We working on that, but we got proof. I remember he was crying. Yeah, he was crying on television, man. He was like, he was like, the vote is so sacred. He always defended that, you know, a Republican or not. He was like that. Man, he started crying. He was just like, he couldn't believe it. And the fact that they had called him with that and told him they had the evidence and had none. Even the governor, Brian Kemp, came out in Atlanta. He just put on he tweeted. He said, right behind Trump on one, he said, at the Georgia election they were never rigged. He's a Republican. And he told her it didn't happen. Georgia votes are very secure. A lot of people, the governor from Florida, he done came out and told her. He said, yeah, he let him know. No, DeSantis. Yeah, he told him no. He said the votes. Everybody coming out against him. I mean, even Michael Pitt. Everybody that came out telling him the whole thing. This man, he created this, and the other people pissed because they looking like a fool. They knew this, but you just wanted to act the fool and tear up anyway. You knew it wasn't stolen.
Right. But he said he's going to release a press conference on Monday without the advice of his
all the information. Yeah, he's gonna come. Yeah, he's gonna come out with it and make himself look dumb. He listen. Why hold him proof this long?
Right.
You know this is how bad it is. He's lied since January the 6th. Okay, before that, let's just go with January the 6th. I know people that follow him. They have a page to follow him. He told the people that he was going to be elected and sworn in March. I know a person that followed. Listen, I know a person who followed his website, Caucasian. He sent 7,000, I was like $8,000 to him. Trump asked for some money. They were asking everybody to send some money. This was earlier back in this. After that, when that election thing happened, they came out 20. He sent about $8,000 himself. They were all sending money to this legal team to defend. He has sucked at these people. Then they said, really, the official date was not January. It was March. Then he came back. He didn't get it in March. He's going to do it in July. Biden he's not even resigning. Listen, this is how bad their minds are. He convinced people through these web segments that Biden did not live at the White House, that he lived in an Amazon warehouse, that they had set fences around to make it look like the White House.
Wow.
I've never heard so many. The person that told me come out of reverb.
That's me.
Probably hit your mute.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. I got you. So the sad part is you have people believing this. Somebody just came out, a lady, and threatened a judge in Washington, D.C., a federal judge. This woman's going to jail. This woman going to do some time. You threatened a federal judge for this foolishness this man done. Let this man stand trial. Y'all made us stand in this system. You said let the system work. That's what you said.
That's right.
Let a jury decide that. Why are you threatening to kill the judge?
Right.
We came protest after sentence. These folks started burning, tearing up before we found out what happened.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way that's what you tell her. Let him have his day in court. If he innocent,
Right.
he should surely walk. But just stop it. You done lied and took these people money. He's turning a legal expense from January of this year to July that he's gonna spend $48 million in legal fees. Impossible.
Whoa.
You hadn't even been to court.
Right.
What trial did you go to?
I think he used it to fund his campaign. Some of that money.
I know he's using the campaign because think about it. This is coming in while I'm doing this.
Right.
So while I'm running, I'm having to fly back from these court cases. So this can justify spending that money too. But they just made the legal team got to submit a record. They got to show how this money been paid.
Wow.
I just say that to say, the whole system is crooked. People need people for people. We don't need people for profit. We don't need people. We want to make money. We don't need people for policy. We need people for people. Let's deal with common everyday people. How do we get a system set in place that we as people can work together and people can function for the majority? It's not a perfect system, but it can be a system in place that allows for when you got equal opportunity and fair assessment too, then you got a better probability chance for people to make it. But how it is now, everything is just more or less just structured to one race and it to be superior. What? How's that you? What in the world? What? So you got all this going, and nobody's thinking about people, and that's why we're in the rut we're in.
Now, last but not least, okay, the lady, I forget the lady's name in Atlanta, the district attorney, right? She said he has till Monday to turn himself in. So if he doesn't turn himself in, would they put outstanding warrant on him, you think?
They would do it, but he'll show up. He's not crazy. You don't want to put yourself in that situation.
Right.
I think he just want to push people. What he'll do by Sunday, he'll just about fly up there. Fly to Atlanta on a Sunday night, be in court Monday morning. Because
they say the state of Georgia has some of the most stringent laws it is, like as far as like prosecuting and I guess what do you call it? Indicting and prosecuting folks that
state of Georgia ain't got no strong. They can't even get a grand jury for YSL case. They still waiting on that.
What happened on that? I don't know.
Oh, you're talking about the rapper guy.
They're comparing the Young Slime Life case to the president case because they can't even get a grand jury to judge that trial.
Wow.
I don't think grand jury trying to get a jury in order to try him on it because the grand jury indicted him, right?
Yeah, they indicted him, but they trying to get it together to try the guy, which is the same thing that Trump saying that the head gang leader in YSL was dating the prosecutor that's trying Trump. That's what he said.
Oh,
I did hear that. Yeah. I think they said they got pictures about hanging out with him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Man.
Yeah, but it's a whole mess.
But then you got to think about this too. You remember that mysterious package of cocaine that showed up at the White House?
Mm-hmm.
Now all of a sudden, Hunter Biden, he was a crackhead. So who's not to say that the package wasn't for him?
He could be on that side. They say in that area only certain people had access to that area. Certain top elite press, other people. They know it. Whoever one of them was. I don't think it was Hunter. I don't think Hunter would have been on the side they would have been on. He'd have came straight the way he go. His dad is in the White House. I can go straight to where I need to go.
Right.
I think Hunter had that little bit of dope. Just like a lot of people that people don't think, man, that's a lot of dope go through Washington D.C.
Yeah.
Washington D.C. is a drug haven. They just don't tell you about it. Right now, Washington D.C. murder is like very high. You know that
And
they
what the mayor name was that had caught on camera smoking crack back in the day?
Marion Barry.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Set him up with a agent and then in front of that camera that put him in like a boxer. He was like, it's Joe Finnick. That's how he boxed.
Didn't they catch Al Sharpton in DC too?
They had him on federal tape talking about trading drugs, and the feds didn't arrest him. When you know that?
Right.
And nothing else, they put a guy for conspiracy with you 5 years.
Correct.
Because you're an agent.
Because like you said, it's so corrupt in DC. I mean, like, wow, it's just so much politically going on. But
who is Fannie Willis? They said Fannie Willis was tied to young Philip.
You don't know her name, Fannie Willis.
Oh, that's her. Oh, that. Why did he put that up in the last minute? Young Thug.
Who was Fannie Willis?
Murder.
That's her. That's the attorney, district attorney.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Right.
Young Thug.
She like
So,
business.
Yeah,
so
she does.
what is this YSL? Is that Young Slime or is that some rap group?
Yes.
The Young Slime. I think the guy named Young Thug or something like that. But somebody turned state's evidence in his entourage, though. I think his cousin or somebody. I'm not really familiar with that case, but they said somebody from his entourage had already turned state's evidence on him. They tried to hit him with the RICO case, with the RICO Act.
Ain't none of them boys supposed to have their hair different colors?
Yeah, that's the one, the guy that wear a dress. He was wearing a dress and had a machine gun in his hand. I said,
I never seen them.
A wedding dress.
I heard about that group and they got started back some years ago. Somebody told me used to work in they say they're slime. They say they call themselves slime because they'll steal from their mama, their dad, they'll tell it, and from each other. They tell them, no, so you know I'm slime. That's the whole part. They saying they slime.
Yeah. That says it all right there.
Well, yeah, that's the end was. I'm slime. You know, you say you so slimy.
Slimy,
that's
yeah.
You'll do something like that. Yeah, their theory is supposed to be, if I'm correct, they're not theory, but their philosophy was, slime. It don't mean you steal from your grandma, mama, whoever.
I thought it was. I thought the YSL was Yves Saint Laurent at first because he endorsed them.
He endorsed them.
He what?
They endorsed his cologne.
Yeah, that Yves Saint Laurent. Yeah, that's what I thought it stood for. But the Young Slime Life, huh?
Yeah, Young Slime.
Y'all got a lot going on in Atlanta.
That group came out of nowhere, man. I guess now that they started rapping, I guess I heard of the guy's name before Young Thug. I wouldn't know him.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many little thugs. I wouldn't know one from the other one, young and old. So
they say your boy Andre 3000 walking around, long lost his mind. He around playing a Japanese flute round.
He was down here with them. He the one trying to pick up the Hummer. He was wrecked his car. Is that the one over church down here? That's Mace.
No, that was the Mace guy. Won't Puff Daddy.
Oh no.
That Mace. Who you just named? What's the other guy? With the flute, you said. I heard something about somebody walking around with an instrument.
Andre 3000. The one which should be with Outkast. And then his partner, Big Boy, I think they say he raised owls, like big owls, like nocturnal owls, like
what?
What?
That's crazy.
He raised owls. He used to be in the pit bulls, but now he's doing owls now. Yeah.
So what I'm saying, Andre 3000. So I heard somebody. He the one. So he out on the street just blowing a flute or something like that.
Right, walking around town. Yeah, man. I think he done lost his mind. They say he was he got the baby from that lady Erykah Badu. And they said she put some type of voodoo on the fella.
It's over, man.
Yeah, y'all got a lot.
Too much in the mind as a dog.
I'm just hearing this. Listen, this is my first time hearing this. I don't know none of these people like that.
I know you don't, Rob, but I'm just saying, man, Atlanta is
And then
What'd you say,
Erica
Sean?
Badu.
Voodoo.
That's too much right now.
Yeah.
Hey, Confederate 48, you know we on East Coast, man. You know it's 11:16. That boy, it's 8 o'clock over there. Hey, you remember when we was in Arizona?
Uh-huh.
When we was in Arizona, boy, it was so late over here, and it was early over there. I said,
Yeah.
boy, this is a life to live.
Yeah. Man, but it's just so hot, man. It's 112 degrees and it's 8:15. I'm like, literally like, man, and we haven't had rain in 145 days.
What?
That is
Man, that's hell. Get out of there.
You talk about drought.
Hey, listen, man. Hey, ain't no water there, man.
No,
ain't no, if there ain't no sign.
What's that? What's that, Sean?
You ain't had rain in 145 days.
Yeah.
That's a sign. That's a odd.
Yeah. It is.
Right.
Ain't no good out of that. Ain't no good coming out of that.
Yeah,
Wow.
I mean, it's 145 days. We haven't had no measurable rain. And we're in monsoon season. That's the sad part about it.
Yeah.
Wow.
So a little bit, but it ain't been enough they can count it. It's so hot and so dry.
Yeah, by the time it hit the ground, it's evaporated.
That's right. Yeah. That's what
Wow.
I'm saying. It ain't enough they can measure, but it's coming.
Measure,
It's
yeah.
so little. Yeah, it won't even measure. It
Yeah,
needs so much.
we got water restrictions and everything. It's just it's really, really bad. I mean, in terms of the weather-wise, the culture is kind of like racism is it's a thing, but the people that's native to the this region are kind of oblivious to it because they don't really, us being from the South and the deep South, we can spot racism and the signs of it, but I mean, a lot of the people here are oblivious to it, and it's just amazing just to see, but over there in Atlanta, man, the New York of the South, y'all got so much going on. I'm like, y'all got so much news we get from y'all over here, like the woman that went missing, the black lady that's been missing, she got abducted by some white guy. They said they found her yet?
Down here in Atlanta.
In Atlanta, yeah.
Well,
They found her?
I don't know about that one.
Well,
It's so much. I watch so much international news. I had to hear about what happened in Atlanta from somebody else. I don't even watch Atlanta. I wouldn't know what's going on. I don't know if it's going to rain tomorrow.
Right, yeah.
There's so much going on everywhere else. I don't get a chance to watch Atlanta news. So I want to know Atlanta news. They be like, yeah, somebody got killed next door. I said, I was looking at the other news. And so because I be looking at what affects the economy.
Right.
Watch the news.
Right.
That's watch the stuff I'm saying. Oh,
But then you would think because Atlanta got the largest airport in the United States. I mean the business airport in the United States. So I mean it's an international hub. So I mean you guys get a lot of news. I mean because we get a lot of news from Atlanta over here, like crazy. Like that one guy, what's his name? That Hill fella that was on the BNC, the Black News Channel, cheated on his wife and. The guy Brian Hill is his name, I think it is. Brian Hill from the Black News Channel. Some mess going on with him. I mean, I'm like, all kind of stuff going on over there
in Atlanta.
Yeah, and then Geno Jennings, he exposed his cousin Jamal Bryant. And I'm like, man, what is going on?
Oh, he said he exposed Jamal Bryant.
Uh-huh.
Man, that's how much say that, man. A lot of that stuff is all about publicity,
Right.
Jamal got a big name, so then we call Jamal to do that. A lot of stuff, man. Let people. This is what I say with a lot of that, man. Let people work gonna show them up anyway.
Yeah, everybody, that's right.
Whether you'll be persistent or consistent, a lot of stuff these guys do, it's time wasting. Otherwise, you have to get smart about things and realize how much am I really helping my people with a lot of stuff you're doing. And the people are victims in the middle of all that. Even with Jamal living the life he lived. You affect the people because people can't say that about you without having to defend you for all the stuff that you guilty of doing. It ain't anybody defending you for stuff you ain't done. It's the stuff you do.
Right.
And you know, hey, it's what it is, man. This is just sad, man. That people lose. That's the problem. We losing it. We losing in religion. We losing in the education system. We losing financially. Well, I mean, we lose on every end.
But we excelling in the you would think we would be ahead. We excelling in the entertainment and the sports, but then we don't see the fruits of the labor. I mean, it's almost like an exploit of our people, but we don't really see, no productivity when it comes to building our communities. But once again, two minds in the mic. Best show on the planet. It's your neighbor Confederate State 48 saying, hit that like button, hit that share, hit that subscription, hit that cash out. So very much.
We appreciate you always. It's great to see you, all our wonderful listeners, visitors every week from time to time. You guys add so much. You're a special part of us. And we always, allow and hope that we're a special part of you. Life come at you, always throwing some different, ideologies and other things that you have to face and challenge. But at the end of the day, try to keep focused. Make sure you're in a good place with yourself. Make sure you're in a good place with your creator. Everything else, it'll work itself out. Hey, if anybody asks you mind, you tell me you always mind. Every Thursday night, right here on 2 Mics and My Mind, 8:30 p.m. Thursday. Hey, if nobody else told you they love you, we love you. Now let me call it hard. Tuli, Love Doctor, Resident Joe, Shara Boston.
Oh. Yeah.
They had to hit it for me. Love Doctor in the sleep.
Lead off.
Go. Who's gonna lead it?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Let's see. The man who bites his tongue often has a poor appetite.
Yeah.
The man.
I can do it. A man that bites off his own tongue and eat it has a poor appetite. Ain't that what you said?
Yes, sir. The man that they say I don't bite my tongue. The man who bites his tongue often has a poor appetite.
I like that. Wow.
I got that from you, Rock. You used to say when I say once, I can say it twice.
There you go. That's it, man. That is it. What you got for us? Who got a box? What you got for us?
Come on, Sean.
Tongue bite related.
Yeah.
Ooh.
What related?
Tongue bite related.
Tongue bite related. You got
tongue bite. You said tongue bite related?
Yep.
Okay. Not the tongue, but probably the mouth.
Okay.
Never trust a woman who doesn't close their eyes while they kiss.
Wow.
Whoa.
Why you say that?
I said woman.
Yeah.
Because she's watching you for something. You got busted, Tuli.
Say that though.
You don't trust you.
You had that the champ already did.
That's a whole nother show. I just ended my thing on what I said. If you do it, hey, just know.
The woman that kiss you with her eyes open. The woman that kiss you with the eyes open. Watch the woman that kiss you with her eyes open.
No, don't watch them. Don't trust them.
Oh, got you.
Leave them.
Thank you.
I just got one.
That's gonna be hard to come behind.
If talk is cheap, then make sure you use expensive words so you can bring the value. That's off the dome.
That was pretty good. That was actually pretty good.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, that's off the dome.
All right, let me follow that. You said
don't worry about it.
So being cheap is all about. Sometimes it ain't always about making money. Sometimes it's just about not losing it. Be cheap. Be great.
That is sick. You know that is terrible. That's on the list of all your terrible ones. Are you serious?
That man did an Uno card.
That was horrible.
And changed it to money.
Who next then? Who will top that? Who next?
Since you changed it with the Uno card with money.
Come on, Dr. Joe.
With the Uno card with money, I got a money one for you. Yeah. Consider if money wasn't a consideration, what would you be doing?
What?
That's an open-ended question.
Yeah, I'll be doing the same thing.
Yeah,
that's what. Except.
You know, when I woke up talking about that money and the, you know, I'll be listening a lot. Got to get this right and right back to the money.
Oh man, go Joe.
What resident Joe at?
It's because if I put my video, then my internet just goes slow down.
All you gotta do is just say it, girl. What you trying to do a video for?
Wow.
No, because Charles
Attitude,
is
sweetie.
yeah.
What?
Attitude. Why the two?
Because I keep my eyes open.
Oh,
You do?
she still hit.
You do too.
She is still hit. I knew.
Oh my goodness.
She is still hit. Oh, see, I got one.
Y'all crazy. Go
I got-
ahead. I'm sorry.
Come on, Dr. Joe.
I got one.
You kiss with your eyes open. Don't say that. All right.
Y'all are crazy. Go ahead.
The man that kisses with his eyes open, don't trust him.
Oh my goodness. Where have I heard that?
I heard that somewhere before, but
Yeah,
this
that's
is good.
dangerous.
Great job. Who next?
One and only.
That man, you got that turtle, man. Go throw that turtleneck in the
Man,
trash,
you
man.
got-
Put on some clothes.
That man got that mustard turtleneck.
Man, put deodorant around his neck from that thing.
It's the one and only time, Miss Thule. She got to give us a
Christian
one.
Dior. Mustard.
Come on, Tilly.
I'm going off what you said at the beginning.
Okay.
I'm gonna say, eat what you bit off.
Ooh, yeah.
Eat what you
Finish
bit off.
your
Bit
food.
off. That's right.
Yeah. Mhm.
Eat what you bit off.
Yes,
That's
that's what.
it.
That was
What do you mean? Bit off? What is a fruit or something? What you biting on? What is this?
Whatever it is, eat what you bit off.
Whatever come out your mouth, you eat that.
Oh,
Yeah.
You can't be laughing at me.
Joanne.
Yeah, Lord,
I think you just really remixing it and probably saying something that I already said.
Nah, what you said, nobody never need to say it again.
Yeah, that's the same thing. That's all.
I'm laughing at Love Doctor. He said, "What is
Get
the
what
fruit?
you want
What
and pay for what you get.
Okay,
Well-
so I'm gonna leave y'all with the real one for real tonight.
He
All
got
right,
no
good
official
deal.
one.
Man, make sure you got your shirt on, Dwayne.
Do you want to?
Go ahead, Tula.
Oh, and keeping with our theme for tonight, the attitude you have as a parent is what your kids will learn. They don't remember what you try to teach them. They remember.
I don't think so.
That
Y'all
is.
got-
That's
It's
great.
amazing, man.
That's really good.
Joanne,
That goes
she
with
is
Dr.
laughing at you.
Joe's presentation
Well,
too
yeah.
about development of
Yeah,
a child's mind. That's spot on. I like that.
She's looking at a Kuma
It really
Matata
was.
right now. That's all she thinking about. Oh, Kuma
Yeah.
Matata.
That's true.
All right, we'll have you.
We'll
Thank
have
Man,
you.
man, let me
Hey,
go
you
to
don't talk, man. Go throw that turtleneck in the trash, man. Every time
Yeah.
that Christian
Oh,
Dior
shit.
mustard.
Tuli love Dr. Tony
But,
Bostic, Dr. Joe. Before they take us home.
Man, that man
Yeah.
so sleepy, man. He's so sleepy.
Yeah.
Man.
About to take it back.
Go to chat.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is, the most listened to radio show on the planet. This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
Tony and Julie on the radio. Dr. Joe's therapy on the radio. The love doctor going live on the radio. Two mics and a mind on the radio. Radio, turned up on the radio. Radio, turned up on the radio. Turned up on the radio. Turned up on the radio. Two nights and a time. Two nights and a time. Two nights and a time. Two nights and a mind.
All right. You do something better, I'll do something better, and we'll be better together. Until next week, thank you so much for listening, sticking, and staying. We appreciate you. Good night.
Yeah. Good night, Tony.
Don't get love, got that